Exclusive rentals. We have LED bars, LED chairs, LED tables, trussing, speakers, and stage available. Bring your event to life with exclusive party rentals. For more information, contact 1-784-493-1361. 1-784-493-1361.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which has made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is my keeper. The Lord is my shade upon my right hand. The sun shall not smite me by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve me from all evil. He shall preserve my soul. The Lord shall preserve my going out and my coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all good things will be added unto you. Good morning to you, and especially you, no matter where you are with a Vincentian state of mind. It's 2% radio, 98% love. Yours truly, Carlyle in the place today. Yes, it's the Ctview Saturday show. Yeah. June the 1st, June. I wonder if June has come too soon. Yes. Yeah. Because with prayer comes faith. With faith comes confidence. With confidence comes action. Action with perseverance and strength. We try our best to try our best and ask the Almighty Father, through Jesus Christ, to help with the rest. Say, Lord, help me dwell in the awareness of your goodness and mercy each day. May I be a vessel of your love to others. Open my eyes to recognize your leading in every circumstance and teach me to follow after you. In Jesus' name. Amen. Condolences to the family of Mr. Ivan O'Neill. Condolences to you, sir. Condolences to the family and the supporters of the Green Party. Yes, condolences and the passing of the general, the true general. Yes, Mr. Ivan O'Neill. Get well wishes. Wow. Got some news this week that Papa Noel is not doing too well. Yeah. Papa Noel, boy, I'm praying for a miracle. Hopefully, things can turn around. Things can turn around. Also get well wishes, Leon Big Samuel, Leroy Murray and Granville Straker, Eddie Freitas, Sil McIntosh. The big ups. Miss Sergeant, good morning to you. Yeah, is you are talking to, Miss Sergeant. My family, Miss Sergeant here, yeah. Big ups to you. Good morning. Calico Massive locked on. Mr. Keith Miller, Sally from Glen, Cousin Carlos, Splinters, Guy Lowe, Leon DuPont, aka Kempes, Hammers, Shari Kwame, Cipriani, Young Blood, Uncle Ian, Malicious, Millicent, Barricade and Nev, Kevon, Joselle. Something clicking. Yeah. Here we go. Oh boy. Something not clicking like it should. Almost like I have to reset the main computer. Yeah, boy. Yeah, back on the big ups list. Mrs. Alexis, yes, good morning to you. Yes, big sister dearest, Mrs. Alexis. Donna in New York City, Phoebe in New York City, Mrs. Blanda, and little Miss Cheeky Dimpleicious Journey. Yes, yes. Vern and Mrs. Alexander in New York City, Huggy from the East, K.E., Woody Booker, Trevor, NDP Boots, the Shepherd family from Kittel's Beach, Mr. Lewis and the crew at CNR, Katrina and Rihanna from CNR, Lance and the crew, Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale, Ruthie, Roger, Ron, Beverly, Sade, Pascal, and Miss T from the New Montrose Hotel. The Massive and crew at Randy's Drinks Depot, yes, 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 yes. Miss Cambridge at Jamar General, Eva, Alton, Sturdy, Trevor, Slimtastic, Wilfred Brown, Nathan, Hello, Maggie, Slimtastic, Marty, Joanna, Miss D, Mrs. D, Indy, Aisha, Taiwan, Glody, Diggity Dam, Shabazz, Angel Monet, Snappy, Comedy, Nairon, wherever you are with a Vincentian state of mind. 2% radio, 98% love, City View Saturday show. Because at City we believe good ideas deserve good company, therefore a good company deserves good ideas. Don't forget to check out the Beckett Benefit Organization. I don't know. I didn't see the notification it canceled because of the weather. But yeah. No. The thing is on. Yes, the Beckett Benefit Organization. Soup and Pillow. Yeah, Bellocs Corner, Melville's Lot. Check them out. Drink specials, and go and hang out and have a good time. Like I said, go there and meet a few people and tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell them, Carla, thank you. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to have to spend a little time and reset the main computer and come right back.
Can you hear a distant drum bouncing on the laughter of a melody? Yeah. And does the rhythm tell you come? Does your spirit do a dance to this symphony? Yeah. Does it tell you that your heart is higher? Oh yeah. And does it tell you that your pain is a liar? Oh yeah. Does it wash away all your unlovely? Well, are you ready for a brand new discovery? Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Yeah. Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Singing, oh yeah, Calypso. Singing, oh yeah, Calypso. I say that I am the seed of the ground and tiger now. I got to sing, oh yeah, Calypso. It is a living vibration a politician cringe, but turn a woman's body into jelly. Shake it, shake it. It is a sweet soca music, calypso. They could have never refuse it, calypso. It make you shake like a shango now, calypso. Why it is you shaking, you don't know, that's calypso. Calypso, calypso, calypso music, yeah, yeah. Calypso, 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 music. Singing boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, yeah, calypso. Singing boy, yeah, boy, yeah.
All right, I think we're back on. I think we're back on track. Yeah, we're back on track. Yes, yes, we're back on track. Yes. Paying homage to the advertisers here on CTV Saturday Show. Let's talk Naive International Logistics, shipping, packaging, and moving. 3 locations to serve you. New York City 347-500-9142, Boston 617-594-2283, or right here in SVG 784-455-5600. When you can't wait on the barrel, when you need it now, Naive International Logistics. 20 minutes after 10, time check brought to you with the kind compliments of Jamar General. Jamar General for your PVC pipe and your PVC pipe accessories. Check them out also for your electrical, your building electrical needs. And check them out also for your UPVC windows, built, tried, and tested for tropical climate. Best prices guaranteed, Jamar General. Lower Middle Street, Kingstown, 457-2725. Also brought to you with the kind compliments of Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Upper Middle Street, Kingstown. Check them out for 3 Horses Malt, for ginseng up, for cool kids, for 2 liter Coke, 1 liter Coke, energy drinks, for turbo, for fruta, for potatoes and onions. And yes, don't forget Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale delivers. To be a part of the delivery list, call 456-2814. Open until late today, Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Of course, don't forget to check them out for my favorite, the 3 Horses Malt. 3 Horses Malt. Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Once again, telephone number 456-2814. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Flick Pest Control. Remember, 1 flick and they're gone. Free on-site inspection in Kingstown and surrounds. And if you're not in Kingstown and surrounds, you too can benefit from the free on-site inspection where you pay upfront for the inspection fee. But once you sign up for the service, it gets deducted from your final bill. Flick terms and conditions apply. Telephone number 457-1857. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on CTV Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Smithy's Apartments and Auto Rentals. Coming in from the cold, coming in for Carnival. Give Smithy a call, 455-0637, or email BrentonG509@gmail.com. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Express Data Systems. Express Data Systems for your computer and your computer accessories. Yes. And don't forget the printer supplies, especially printer cartridges. Express Data Systems. Opening hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Telephone number 456-1128. So tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on CTV Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. And once again, don't forget to check out the BBO Decade Benefit Organization Soup Sale at Velox Corner this it should be starting around 12 o'clock. Yes. You get your calorie soup, you get your pillow. I think it's $7 and $5 portions, if I'm not mistaken. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on CTV Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Present time in St. Vincent and Grenadines is 10:24. Leon Bigger Big Samuel, it's your turn to burn. Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Good morning to you, my true brother and friend. And when I say true, I mean true with the capital T2.
Yes.
Now, how are you feeling this morning, my brother?
Yeah, much better.
Wonderful.
Much better. You know, big sister is here,
Wonderful.
looking out for a little brother and everything. So, you know, you
Exactly.
can't
Wonderful.
complain.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And that's something you must never try to neglect out of it there, Carla. You see that this is citrus
Mm.
to make sure you cover your body.
Yes, boy. That's
as
it.
much
And
as you
that
can
is
with,
that is a struggle now to get a part of
I
it,
know, but
you know.
well,
That's a struggle.
exactly because Carla, I bought. Anyhow, let me see. I bought 6 lime yesterday. Six limes, yeah, for $10.
Yeah. My sisters tell me in Trinidad is $5 for one. You know, five TT for one lime. You know, she was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Carla, and we see that we got one of the best soil for growing these things in the world. I should say among soil in the world, because we alone have a volcano that can replenish damp nutrient and the soil whenever the soil gets too low when it's nutrient. So we got a very good soil that could compete against any other soil in this world here. That is good for agriculture, and we have to be buying. And let me not say, and I'm saying not about the people that won't sell anything, but it's just that, you know what I mean? Anyhow,
yeah,
good.
Boy, you know, but you see everything. Boy, it seems like everything that we sell now is automatically going into a plastic bag and costing $5.
Exactly. There's no $2 anything anymore again now, and $3. No. Any longer the hay go into a plastic bag.
Yeah.
It's $5, right?
$5. Like, yeah, boy, somebody
man,
bought some
people
plums this week and talked about 20. I said, where you going with that? You know,
and you're gonna make any money, why the people have to make money? They make some money.
yeah, make some money, but oh God, don't be ridiculous. So please.
Well, with the car, we don't think, but because things are rough in the country and they have to eat and drink too, because they have the same expense like anybody else.
Yeah, but then they understand that, you know, don't hold them to spoil.
That's the part I don't like.
Don't hold them to spoil. That ain't making no sense.
Rest assured, lime ain't going to spoil, Carla, because lime has a very long shelf life, but that's long. Like you could put lime on your counter, Carla, for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And not in the fridge, not up to 2 more, but it could be more. But I know for 2 weeks or so. And all it will do, it will drop more juice inside the lime itself. Then I have more juice at the end of the day. So, man, people, if either buy it or I leave it. That's how I put it. I don't want to make no noise. I either buy it or I leave it, because that's the reason why you see Phoenix Kitchen is not there anymore, because fortunately you come and want to tell you all about your mother and how your mother makes you for food, and then I realize that you don't have any control over the price and structure of how things are sold and in the country. Because everybody knew that when I now started out with Phoenix Kitchen, I get leg quartz I got leg quartz by Graves for as low as $32 a case. Yeah.
Try that now.
Next 7 years down the road, if you not 100 and change, you can't interfere with Graves leg quartz. So let me leave them right there. So, and is that Graves? Not blame Graves. Not blame Graves. Graves is just keeping up.
Yep.
Just we go to business keeping up with what the government is doing at the customs. So that's so people doesn't recognize that. And I had it set up, and my Arlene set up, and they just keep around me. And I mean, this mother, this and mother, that. So persons have to realize that the buck doesn't stop with us who are providing those things to be sold. That's the reason why I tell you, I understand some people complaining about a famous wall world chicken franchise prices, but not saying you know, better leave it. Yeah, Carla, nice boy, like, but Carla hit it. Why you really called out this morning? I just started to hook up with you because the first thing I would have liked you to drop Carla. Um, if that famous speech you like to drop, you don't drop it almost every Saturday. Is the piece with Camilo
Oh,
speaking about
the
how
end
Vincent should have to suffer.
suffer and die.
Well, end it,
Yeah,
no, Vincent
but
just pull back and do that.
you see how
End it.
you see how stupidity can take dominance.
Exactly.
You see how
Exactly.
stupidity can take dominance. You know.
I knew that guy there, Carl. I know that guy there, Carl. And for me, it's one of the favorite line. And I really can say that right now, I'm
Mm,
saving up some money right now. I have to, well, I just not I ain't started, but I need to start to save up some money right now, Carl.
mm,
That so maybe need to start to do some fundraising or something. That when a lawsuit come to my friend, my brother and friend, there and I way, that I could pay, help him to pay because
mm,
I think he is
mm.
trying closely to they call it intellectual interference. You mean, because that song that all he did is to put he went and put music to the lyric of Camilo. You know what I mean? He put all he did all he went and he put music to Camilo's lyric. And I don't know if it can be charged for infringing an intellectual property. Yeah, so I have to do this because nothing there I heard there and I put in that song. Nothing. A matter of fact, Camilo even went further than him. Camilo said, "Who must suffer?" All I hear, all I hear, there I say, demand, 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 demand. But
Yeah.
Camilo tell him, "Who must suffer?" And dead.
Yeah, you know, like,
The
but
fight.
I said it last year. This is something that I said last year.
Uh,
you know,
this is the way looking with it, brother.
Zion, in a lot of ways, would be expressing the thoughts
Mm,
of a lot of intentions that
mm,
we know that we don't dare to say.
exactly.
You understand? You
But
know,
no, but no, but here you can.
while this year is entertaining and also part of the thing, the record amount of murders that we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to be insinuating, killing or whatever in one way or another, it in my opinion, it's not to be encouraged. It's not to be encouraged. And like I said,
And then who? What?
but understand the weight. They understand the weight that is put on society, and it's not always that we should react to their dotishness to be dotish ourselves. You understand?
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm,
mean, like I said, I understand where he's coming from, and I understand that his lyrics, could be the thoughts of the majority of intentions, but
it is, but
you
no,
know
but his lyric is not original, neither Carla. It is,
yeah,
as I said,
yeah,
he
exactly,
can be, he
exactly,
can be taken to court
exactly,
for
but
intellectual property.
yeah, but the Middle East and well, that let me be responsible. I heard Dougie said this morning that that
I
he's
heard
not
him
going to
too. I
put it
heard him
on the
too.
radio,
I heard him. I
and
heard him.
it would have been mostly my decision if
Mm-hmm.
we had broadcast it to to pull it to pull it off the air and not to pull it off the air, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
by the time the verses come around, it's all well and good, to to have the play on words, but
Mm-hmm.
the supporting factor of on the play of words, would have presented a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah, a lot, and it had a lot to do with with our status, with the mindset of of the ones who have opted to, to pull a gun and take somebody's life in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not. I think at
Carl,
62 years old,
I respect your opinion. Go ahead.
some of we had to be, some of we can't be as stupid as Camilo to make, a statement like that.
Carl,
Yeah. Mhm.
I respect your opinion.
Mm.
You're my brother, my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I have to that mine too.
Mm.
I this morning, self, I was thinking long and hard. Carl, there's a reason why we as black people are where we are. Eh?
Mm.
And when I say black people, I mean people like myself, but maybe the kind of hair that I have, even though we have some mixture of other blood in me from other race. It just came to me this morning. Because I do some deep thinking, eh? How come we never had any? I don't know, people like Jomo and those people who I respect in the history might know more than me, but I'm just thinking about what I'm saying from what I would have absorbed and what I read. I haven't gone as deep as these guys in terms of history because, matter of fact, history was never one of my favorite until I have grown up. No, Africa. I never heard Africa ever had any kind of war like with the Japanese them. The Japanese flying and link up Pearl Harbor and fight back America and fight back the rest of the world. Do you hear listen to all those wars? You ever hear any Africa involved in any kind of big time of world war? Eh? No, because we are a set of people, Carly. We are too timid and love to anything at all run under stone, go hide. This black man here, this black African man here, trust me, I had enough of people like Ralph Gonzalez them abused. Trust me, Carlisle. And that's the reason why Africa is where it is. That everybody else coming and take it all the wealth and take it back into their countries. The Chinese is going and getting their piece. The Japanese getting their piece. The French getting their piece from Africa. And all it does is just watching all the resources going away from around us. And leave people like Ralph and his son to say and do whatever he wants in this country here. I mean, I'm looking for one. I know some people will say we have to be careful about the message that the NDP is putting out there. But let me say this, I'm not speaking on behalf of the NDP. And let me get this clear. Nobody take time with the NDP. I'm speaking for bigger bigs. Yes? So for me, let me say it again. And I am happy that you're giving me this chance that I could bring it out there. Zion is not saying anything different than what. Maybe my twisty words up are just a little bit different and anything. That's all he did. But those lyrics in that song, the originator of those songs, you could find pieces of Camilo and his father inside it. So for me, those are the things that just coming in my head now.
I hear you.
The way how Africans allow themselves to be taken down, I am not going on that road. Trust me, Carly. So, Carly, my brother, I can't hit pans there. Who don't like me, continue not to like me. Basically, I don't care.
I hear you. But you see, Biggs, here's the thing. I mean, for the ones who would, for all the people who would meet me and tell and discuss the conversations that we would have, you and I would have.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
You and Charlie start going to tongue. Good morning to you, my dear sister. Good morning to you.
I feel a sense of responsibility. I feel a sense of responsibility as to where we know we have people that listening, and our voices, our conversation here would have an impact on person's thought process, and therefore it's not for us to be as stupid as Camilo. Yeah. You know, it's not for us to be as stupid as Camelo, because the same St. Vincent and Grenadines basically they jacked up they made safety and security something that is on the minds of everybody in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know,
Okay,
it's
John, no, thanks. Yeah,
it's
John.
for us it's for us to look at it and understand that, if we could appeal to Vincentians and listen, it don't make no sense that you're destroying yourself because they did that. It don't make no sense you destroy yourself because we said that, because the same St. Vincent and the Grenadines that we destroy is the ones that we have to live in.
I
You
know. And Carla and what I'm saying, like Vincentian is loving and showing appreciation for the kind of behavior of these people. Because for me, that is the only reason why they can keep on voting and putting back up this family and this party back in power for 25 years, Carla. That is the people love it so. And trust me.
But you see, it's our job. It's our job to reach out to the reasoning. To reach out to
You
the
really
reasoning.
think that when these people
It's a lot of
condition?
ways. They hold the heads. They hold the heads. The party hacks or whatever. The ones with the stomach bulging, especially who came out on the whatchamacallit, the upstage. The upstage. If you want to know where they support, basically, come to the upstage calypso tent. Where you see all the stomach bulging and who eating off of the
Okay.
trough.
Exactly.
No, no, no,
And Carla,
no. The
just to
trough,
forget,
the trough is the
let me
trough
make
is
a point.
getting smaller. You hear?
Okay.
The trough is getting smaller, and therefore those numbers are questionable. Those numbers are dwindling and are questionable. It's no mystery that the last rally that they had, the attendance of the last rally that they had, even that they spent a whole heap of money on entertainment to attract young people, was a dismal failure. You understand? So the reason and rational, it is not for us to be as stupid as they are. Like this thing, people, a whole heap of people used to be up in arms against Carnival because 9 months later, you have a barrage of young people at the hospital having children. But what's the statement this week? What's the statement this week? Is that we need to start
Exactly. And
having
I am not going to
more
get
children.
distracted by that, because for me that is a total distraction, Farrell, from the
No,
issue that we are
you
facing
see,
every day.
but here's the thing. To me, that's a big part of the no confidence that Vincentian. So you hit the no confidence that we have in Ralph Gonsalves economy is even affecting the bedroom.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
Has
So that reason
transferred
why
itself
I'm not
into the
going down that
bedroom.
road, because Carla, I'm
Yeah.
not one of those poor souls who believe in having small amount of children. Long as you could find out, long as you have the means to take care of them, and you want to make children, because you need, because the scriptures. We're not talking about the scripture that we some people jump and read every day to get the part they want out of it. The scripture, the demonstration is that the Almighty Supreme Creator says, replenish and be fruitful and replenish. So for me not doing another part at all. But Carla, but I respect what you're saying, but I have to still remember, as these knowledge and education come my way, that I have to remember that Africa as a nation is the only nation on this earth who are big enough to have nuclear facility. They have none. And who's about to go into war and all that thing. And all they do is losing, meanwhile they're starving because they fight, Everything you see white people and rich people like Ralph, for them, people they have enough. They destroy people pretty enough. Listen to Farrakhan. Farrakhan said that. Farrakhan said that everything here these people got, See how they get it. And since if Africa not always become the punching bag for them to punch out what they want out of it. Me? I refuse.
But you see,
I refuse to go down that road.
Well, Biggs.
And I say, you have your opinion, my brother.
With the world, the way the world is changing now, you know, especially looking at the former president Donald Trump, you know, who was found guilty and 34 counts.
But they just hand the presidency to Donald Trump. You know? That's all they did. Hand the presidency to him.
You know,
that's all they did.
But you see, what has been done is showing that nobody is too big to fail. You know, he's going to lose some support on that. You know, he's going to while it's going to raise an answerness in his base or whatever. You know, reasonable and rational persons who make decisions based on who are to make decisions based on rational thinking, you know, is not going to vote for him. You saw
the polling numbers now. You saw the numbers now. How it's looking now.
Yes, I saw the poll. I saw the polling numbers, but it doesn't negate the fact that, you know, where the world is heading is that right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter who you think you are.
Carly, we need to get some strong people who could deal with people like this government we have here, because Vincent has been going through a lot, and what we have been gotten, okay, me try to turn the line all the years, and what have I gotten from this administration here? Right now, Carly, is the time that black plant that I have in the Yambo down the Carly is ripe and ready for the harvest right now, Carly. Right now, even all the time coming down, but right now, there was never a time that one project in this country would need $25 million worth of blocks, Carly. Never in the history of this country. It should have been done. It should have happened at Argyle Airport. It didn't happen because the big only black plant, and they feel it's easy money that they'd have to give to a Kong for, so they build it to any kind of blocks. Carly is now, but with this hospital now, is a whole different kettle of fish, Whole different kettle of fish, Carly. Carly went up to Georgetown Wednesday, sorry. And Carly, I used the opportunity to really inspect. I didn't went up there, I intended to go and inspect it enough, to inspect the hospital. And Carly, with all the blows, I'm not saying this to give credit to Ralph and his government. I'm saying it because for me, I see something that I need to put out there, expand on and put out there. I look at the hospital, Carly. I look in the corners, because when I hear a building start to crack, it's in the corners then. But those places that I could have gone freely at the hospital, I inspect it well. And Carly, with all that heavy shaking from that volcano, you know, not a crack in the building. Nope. We, black plant, because I like to use the word we, I don't like the white man word. I don't like the anything. I like to say we. At the black, make majority, I should say. I don't know if it's all, but I make mostly, if it's 100%, I will make about 80% of the blacks for that. Not a crack. Well done, Deidre Myers. She was the lead person on that project. Well done. Not a crack. Because in a way, they use the best blocks. The block that is the best, the block for that design for this kind of high strength, this kind of facility that have there under stress. They make it. So look how how much earthquake it got during 21. Didn't touch it. So I want to say this, Carly. But this land down there, that hospital, regardless of who build it, whether the NDP or the ULP build it will need over $25 million worth of blocks. And everyone, present right now, present moment, if not change, have to come from Trinidad. Have to come from Trinidad. Carly, I'm a person who believes to deal with equality here, and I always see myself as a nation builder. And I had a set agenda to make St. Vincent to be a part of making St. Vincent stand out in this region here. And what was done to me. Carl, when I bought that black plant, when Juliet was around, when me and Juliet was together, when she was, everybody knows she was my, I used to marry to her. We flew to make sure we get the adequate and right black plant. We flew to Barbados at Seaway plant. Myself, her, and our accountant at the time, Ruben. Well, they were calling Judas, John Judas. We went to Barbados, and it's right there we realized to ourselves, this is the plan. When you're going to get into this kind of investment, Carl, you do your research. Everything you do research. And I bought, one of the cheapest, there was other people, we get quotation out of England and all that type of thing, but never China. Not to have anything with China, but it never China, because for me, China equipment are not durable, and we not think they're ready to the type for these kind of time yet. The other place could have been out of Germany, probably a black baking company that make a black plant called Bessa. But Columbia Machine has been around for years, almost over nearly 80 years now, making black making equipment. Because it wasn't the cheapest, it was the most expensive of all of them. But you know what? You know what happened? They make the Rolls Royce in black making machine. The Rolls Royce are the Ferrari, everything I want to call it. And we decided we're going to go there. We took up that, we stretched our neck straight out from under the shell, and they took like a chop off. And went out and we invested in that car. And before Ralph get into power, what he did, he started to conceive how he's going to destroy bigger bigs. But when he gets into power, then he realized that he's in the seat now where he could destroy him. We don't import over $7 million worth for the port. We'll have to bring in. We'll now be importing about $25 million worth in blacks. And I go tell me, we must be stupid. We're not being stupid. I'm just being realistic. I just being realistic. I just let reality has struck me in my face. That if I sit down and don't fight back, look at Rebecca. Everybody say, oh, big, he shut down big, and everybody look at the black plant. For me, I never saw the black plant. The black plant for me is a non-entity in terms of in this matter. Well, I say non-entity in this matter here. What I was keep my eye focus on, Carl, is the lands of Rebecca. Is the lands, Carl, and I tell you, I start to love Odd so much more now, hey boy. Odd, I tell you, Odd. If Vincent could have only get a piece of your thinking, they would have never been able to here today. You asked a question last week about the lands, about the Rebecca and the crusher. Though for me, those are the base. That is the base, Carl, of making money off of blacks. You must control the aggregate. You must lock that down. And then, but you could have been into cement. But you see that aggregate is key. And I know how I was going to everybody say, oh, boy, we got to put that. Look, your wife was trying to wear me out. I think what he was trying to do. Where he bring in that part, the first, you did SRNO. Oh, we must shut down crusher, shut down this, and decommission and all that kind of thing. But that was just a smoke screen. As you can love to talk about smoke out. That was it. If we had smoking me out. But I put on my mask. I knew what was happening. It was always about the land. Carl, have nothing. Carl, let me tell you, that land is so uniquely placed in a Carl. You know that land is sandwiched between the two rivers at Rebecca. And according to the land laws and everything like that, Carl, you know that long as I control, my boundary is up to the river, each river. And I wanted to hear me this morning. I'll listen to me well, because I know what is going on. If I think that I'm stupid, I'm not stupid. Because you need to know the value of what you have around you. Carl, each river, the country land law, each river, half of each river, Carl, belongs to us at Rebecca. Half of each one. So if it's somewhere between two of them, you get it half of big river and half of small river belongs to you. You're the landowner. So they hear that shit when they try when up there try to chop off the two boundaries to me. At the two ends, that the two that boundary river. They know the law, they knew the law. They knew that's the reason why they went up there and chop off me two boundaries at the river. And thanks to you, wherever you are this morning, Council Frederick, Bailiff Fredericks, here's the man would have prepped me for all these type of things before he gets to where he is now. That's Vinet's father. So when I hear Ralph behave so Carly, Ralph and them know the destruction they do to me bigger bigs. They know that they couldn't watch a black man like bigger bigs come in this country and make money. So who want to behave up and down me? I'll leave me to hell alone here. I sing there and I sing. I might have to help to get money for you to pay for intellectual property. Because those lyrics are not original from you. They are not original. You use the creativity and twist down some wrong at it. But the same thing you say, when I'm gonna suffer dead, what think that mean? Suffering until they're dead. That is exactly what is happening to bigger bigs right now. Let me tell you, it's even I think this thing with me and these people now they started before Ralph get into power. I don't know if it's 13 years because 13 years is when he really start bring the hammer down. But this thing with Ralph started since Ralph was in that position. He was there back when the NDP because the NDP he didn't know he believed was my stronghold. But it wasn't NDP was my stronghold because I had a mind and a determination to succeed. And that's the reason why people like Hans King and all of them. Hans King used to just sing song that me make Blacksman close down. And when I make Blacksman close down, I was offering another product. And the product that I know could meet any kind of storm. That is what we invested in. Not just some empty black plant. Because you leave the market free. And up till none of them can come to play it up to now. But hey what? Kalai and Major, and I want to listen to Major. Anybody at all who was out there have money, I'm willing to make that black plant available to them. And you don't have to move it. I could work something out with us. If you take it, we could work out something together. You could get it, invest in it, and let me get it back up and running. Because not too soon from now, that land issue will over. Trust me, it will come to an end.
So
the
equipment has been recommissioned?
The equipment, man, don't worry, the territory is coming to an end. Somebody who has more power than Ralph will deal with it just now. Don't worry. Yesterday, I've been to the court, Carla. It matter coming along. Don't worry, Carla. It will be soon over. It's soon over.
I hear you.
I tell you, that's how I see it. What are you going through? People know what I'm standing and deal with every day, Carla. In my life, I wake up. You see, we have to be obsessed with Ralph. So those are you who sleep upset. Every day I wake up, Carla. There's not a day I don't wake up with Carla. I'm being honest with you. I don't have Ralph on my mind. I'm telling you.
But bigger.
Hey.
Morning.
My brother. Morning, my brother. Morning.
Don't get false hopes, bigger. Even though you win your case against Ralph, there's no victory in that.
I know, my brother. But here the reason why I said that he coming to end just now is that we're not waiting on him for money yet. It will free me that I could at least give it, tongue the plant over to somebody who got money, could fix it and make money. $25 million to just go along the drain like that's on the equipment to do it here? No, we can't do that. We have to be better than this other people. So I don't mind, Carla. I don't have to be owning the black plant. I don't have to be the one making the black to make the money. I'm willing, Carla, to back her right now and let her that Vincent and do it. I would never been said anybody else at all out there who is in this program and then do got some money you could invest, come and invest in the plant. The plant can fix the plant can be repaired. Because everything that the plant needs to repair, Columbus. That's what I love about Columbus machine, is the after-sales service. It's after-sales service, Carla. That is what I believe you're paying for why they are so expensive, that plant. Is that they have a second to none after-sales service. So, please, I'm begging somebody. All I just want out of it, just give me that I could buy food that them could eat, and you know what I mean? And the people.
No,
and the
but big, that's your royalty. That's worth a lot of money. I mean,
Hello?
whether or not you think it's a little bit of money, that's your royalty. That's you're just talking about intellectual property. That is your intellectual property, and nobody should be able to take that away from you.
I know. That's the reason why I'm willing. That reason is me freely going to try to get somebody else involved who got the funds to get it back up and running. I know it's mine, and I don't have to move. As I said, they don't have to move it. They don't have to move it. The land is there and everything. Just talk about leave it where it is. If you want to leave it where it is and wait and move it later on, okay, so be it. But right now, as present, come invest in it. If people want to take that ride for them, and if any sweet bread in this country, because I'll never feel his hand, I'll go ahead. So for me, sing, then I sing, my brother.
But just imagine bigger. You are very vocal about what has happened to you. Your impact, your negative impact as a result of your interaction with Ralph, so to speak. But there are thousands of people just like you, and we're not hearing their voice.
I know.
I remember when Ralph just got into office. Minister Eustace had to go to Barbados to speak, to allow the voices of all of those people who were summarily dismissed. That was their only voice in Barbados. He had to go to air their complaints, to have their voice heard on the radio. So unfortunate. And even today, with all of these radio stations, little by little, we are hearing more and more bigger bigs coming through. But we are still not hearing. I mean, I still wonder, those 600 and persons, the civil servants, the nurses, the teachers, the policemen and women, who were summarily dismissed for not taking an injection. Where are their voices?
Oh, you are one of the reasons because she will come on here to call and say, and this is a fact. Carla is like well, same to you too. Like a two friends to me with a big capital T. And Dougie the Freitas ready that because because nobody he named me. I am not that condition like some people that they are afraid to speak out against the wickedness Ralph have done to them.
Yeah, but what are they afraid of, bigger? They have already lost almost everything. In some cases, they have lost everything. Some of these people, some of these teachers and policemen who would have had a mortgage and can't pay it now for almost 2.5 years, they would have lost so much. Think of the opportunity cost relative to their children who cannot afford whatever education that they were probably involved with at that particular time in their lives. And right now, they still cannot afford it because their parents are still without any financial income from what was permanent, so to speak. Their NIS has been in default for the last 2.5 years. I mean, think about all of the repercussions. And where are these voices?
They allow themselves to be conditioned to this extent, Lord. And trust me, I'm not going on. I'm not going on there because I think about Africa. Just think about it. Not one nuclear bomb they have. That would tell you that was never a war country. But those people who love to go out and fight, those are the ones who are rich and wealthy. I'm sorry, I can't go on there with Africa. Sorry. I want to be on this side like we ran for them come out from. You have to stand up and fight. You must stand up and fight back. You have to stand up and it will be just like Africa. But
it's not a fight, bigger. I'm not saying it's not a fight. You are defending your turf. You are defending your job was taken away. You are defending your patronage. You are defending your family. You are defending your siblings. You are in defense of your own sanity. Why? Where is your voice? Why is it that we're not hearing you?
If you love me so much, I refuse. I refuse to become a victim like that. I refuse. Sorry, I refuse. So before I go, let me say that before I go, parcels. There's a house to be for sale in Sears here because I don't know that I keep on saying all along I would not interfere with anybody who live on the land. So there's somebody who live on Sears land, they have a house to sell. If you are interested of purchasing it, But remember, long as they could buy it, just go and talk with the owner. You already did the payment part for the house, for the home, for the building, but the land will not be sold. Okay? And as for you could have another, if you rent and they want 50 more years with the house there, so be it, no problem. Because for me, if you cannot buy people like Florida service, I can't see why you could buy my land, our land that my grandfather worked hard for and my father leave behind. So you could buy the building and you could rent the spot. So that to move and you have 50 years, and up to 99 years if you want there. Because it will be done in a document, in a document that if you go on the bank and you have to use the bank and the bank wants to sign something that you will then need the money to buy the building and so forth, you will have that amount of time there to pay back your loan. No problem. We are willing to, we are flexible and willing to do all that. We don't want to take nobody, we don't want nobody building. It's yours. They build it. So you could check with Lucille Brown. I could call the name to Lucille Brown at NIS. She has the house to sell. And it's a nice wall house. It's a nice, small, neat wall house, okay? She have it up for sale, okay? So I'm here now giving you permission to tell you all now. You can buy it. You can buy it. There's no problem at all. Just know that when they purchase, whatever rent arrangement will have to be done with us. You will have to make that rent arrangement with us, and you will have no problem for that rent arrangement to be executed, okay? So
good morning, Baker.
Oh, good morning to my brother. Hey, Truth Seeker. Good morning to my friend. Good morning.
Good morning. Before you go, I just have a question for you. It may come across as a little bit rhetorical, but I think the Vincentian people need to be reminded of this. Now, based on your own assessment, right? What percentage of the earnings from your block making plant would have remained within the Vincentian economy? All of it? Most of it?
If we could incorporate everything, including importation of cement and so, I would say about 75% of the money would have been stayed in Vincentian.
And that's a significant amount of money that we would have had workers earning an independent wage. They would have been contributing to the NIS. And who knows, the government brags about almost 5,000 people being on social welfare, right? That is seen by them as a great achievement, and it shows how the dependency state was set up. But here you have an independent private individual producing a product that was unsurpassed in its quality. And the reason why I asked that question, Bigger, because you said that the hospital, if I'm not mistaken, would require about $25 million worth of blocks. And that $25 million could have stayed within the Vincentian economy if your business was still up and running.
Yes, yep.
Rather than going somewhere else, and it shows. Yep, it shows how willfully economically short-sighted these people are.
No, another word. Vindictive.
I like the price award.
Vindictive.
And spiteful.
Vindictive. Yes.
But
So bigger.
that is what in these people's nature. No? Even from history, that is what in their nature to destroy. That is how it's like you have a lion, and you could carry that lion home and tame it. That lion job is to seek and devour. You don't know what you do to him. That is what is in these people's nature. That is in their DNA. That is the job to destroy.
Yep.
To destroy you.
Yep.
So,
and bigger.
Example of Africa.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. I mean, you are absolutely correct.
Okay.
The West has always seen Africa as a raw material continent.
Not the West.
Right?
Not the West.
Right? Because you talk about nuclear weapons.
Not
and
the West,
nuclear
Matt. Not the West.
Huh?
Not the West.
Well, I would say the great power states. The great power states in the West. Yeah.
Right.
All
the colonialists.
over France, Austria, everybody wants Africa because of its wealth.
The Western Hemisphere.
And don't forget Spain. Don't leave what Spain and Ireland plays with this. You know what I mean? They leave what Ireland plays with this too.
And bigger.
And Ireland plays this. Don't forget. And when I say raw material, I mean human being, in terms of human being too, because that's how they source as raw
Yes,
material too.
a
Eh?
source of
That's the reason why we are here.
cheap labor, a source of cheap labor
Cheap
too.
labor.
But
That's the reason
Right?
why we are here.
gentlemen, let me interject here. You know, there's something that the conservative members of conservative people the world over is
Mhm,
kicking up against,
mhm.
which is the teaching of critical race theory in the school. Okay, and
Okay.
that is based on history being taught
Absolutely,
as to
absolutely,
the atrocities that were
absolutely.
committed by
Mm-hmm.
by these people. I can tell you, it's almost ingrained in their nature, wherein that if a third world man needs something to eat, he would go out with a bow and arrow or a blow dart
Hmm,
and shoot one bird.
hmm.
The ones who we considered civilized and not
I
the
know
jackass would
right.
go out with a nuclear weapon
And
to
Yes.
kill one damn bird.
I'll give you an example of that, Carlisle, and that is so profoundly true. Let's
Yes,
talk about the Native Americans, right?
yeah,
What we call the Indians. They depended on the buffalo. There
mm,
was more than 1 million buffalo
exactly.
roaming the plains, right? The Indian plain tribes, they depended on the buffalo for everything. They used the hide for clothing and for their housing structures, their teepees or whatever. They used the bones to make tools and needles. They used the flesh for food. They used the fat for, greasing their skin, whatever they did. They used the entire animal. They even used the intestines for making the strings on their bows and arrows. But here you have the white man coming. You have guys like Buffalo Bill Cody. He was given that nickname because he was a great buffalo hunter. These guys built a railroad through the Great Plains, park up the trains on the plain next to the buffalo herd, and indiscriminately shoot thousands of these animals
kill them
per
out.
day. It was only years later that historians realized that this was uh, an indirect means of genocide against these people because
Mhm.
you take away their survival and you expect them to die. And this is
Yes,
what
yes.
the white
But you
construct
see,
is all about.
if we're not careful, if
Mhm.
we're not careful, if we're not careful, we could empower ourselves as third world people. We could empower ourselves
Absolutely.
as Africans and make the
Absolutely.
same damn mistakes that they did
Yep. Yep.
and justify
Yep.
it and say, well, they did it, so they did it, so we can do it too. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
while we make things a mess, which is it's to look at things reasonably rationally, from I'm speaking as from my perspective as a
Mhm.
62-year-old male looking at history and understanding the understanding how it affects us
Carly,
into today.
I know you're
Yeah,
coming from, but
yeah,
me alone can't change the world. Eh? I
exactly.
try, I,
That
I,
is true.
I try to do it and try to bring in a top of the line black making facility here, and
Hmm.
we
Yep.
saw with one of those same people who we talking about there
Yeah.
from people like places like Europe, did it? So
Hmm.
me, Carly, I personal, I fed up,
I
I done,
understand.
Yeah,
I
Carly.
but bigger
understand.
bigs.
I understand your
Hey, my
pain, but
brother,
my
yes.
point is that we can't afford to be as stupid as they are.
No, but the thing is,
Well,
bigger bigs, you can't change the
My
world.
brother.
But
No.
mm,
whatever little you did has already impacted St. Vincent and Grenadines.
exactly.
So you are
Exactly,
Exactly.
changing the
exactly,
world through
exactly.
your
Exactly.
strategic intervention in
Yep.
St. Vincent. A
Yep.
small,
Mm-hmm.
you're creating a
Thank you,
small
thank
ripple,
you, thank
and that
you.
ripple will continue to go right across the vast seas that we have. That's what
Yep.
you're doing, bigger, bigger. And what you have done. And you are now decided to create a further ripple because
Mm.
whatever you have started was somehow summarily stopped by a very vindictive leader
Yep.
for reasons unknown to many of us.
Mm.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
And therein, not to cut you off bigger, but therein lies the political dimension.
I remember.
No, we are all Africans, right? We are all of African, and
Yes, yes.
we're African descent, right? Now, bigger refer to Africa. A lot of the atrocities, the economic atrocities that are still taking place in Africa, the economic rape of Africa, is aided and abetted by the powers that be in Africa. The leaders, some of them who were elected, some of them who overthrew government. Let me tell you something. It is unquestionable that of all 7 continents, Africa, in terms of natural resources, is by far the wealthiest. In terms of technical ingenuity, is by far the wealthiest. But there's a political structure in so many different parts of Africa that have stymied economic growth that trickles down to the people, and intellectual growth, human development. And this is something that has been orchestrated by France, by England, by Germany, by Belgium, and it still continues today. Aided, as I said, aided and abetted. Yes, aided and abetted by the political leaders in Africa. Unfortunately. Yep.
And that is what is by extension, Mac. That is exactly what is happening right now in St. Vincent.
Absolutely.
Look, Bigger Bigs is right there. Prime example. Prime example. And I'm thinking,
absolutely.
When you as a leader can summarily dismiss over 600 of your workers, and you are still in office, you are still in office today.
And bragging that some of those very same people would vote for you in the end.
Big up to you, Adriana. Big up to you, girl. Big up to you.
Yeah.
Big up to Adriana. You're holding well.
Biggs. If you be made prime minister in St. Vincent Grenadines, would you be as stupid as Ralph and Camilo?
No, it's nothing because I'm African. It's not in my DNA.
Okay. All right.
It's not in my DNA.
Well said.
Just don't make them lead the way. You understand?
Scarlight, but here is Scarlight.
Yeah.
So I want Vincent Jean to know that the whole thing at Rabaka, where is the ground zero of this my issue, is about 2 rivers that Bigger Bigs will be the owners. Long as thing is allowed to flow the way it was flowed, I will be the owner of 2 rivers. Half on one and half on one side of the land, half on the other side of the land. Half and half teachers. Because used to be, well, except Carla and myself, we used to be teachers. Half and half like what? A whole.
Tell them the laws of accretion applies to
that's what they can't handle.
Yeah.
Because
that's right.
Owner of 2 of those rivers. Half on one, half on the other.
You can't own any river in St. Vincent, Bigger Bigs. You cannot own any river in St. Vincent.
No, you can't own the waterway.
Well, no. You see, I don't want to go into the technicality because I was speaking on piece of the case. You're not really owning them, but you have access to them. Okay?
Right.
Any resources in them is yours.
If the border changes according to the flow of the river, if it's negative, you lose. If it's
positive, you win.
Thank you very much.
I would not refer to Ralph and his son as being stupid, Carla. I would not accept that.
They are by far.
They're not stupid. They have a plan. They have a purpose in what they're doing. Maybe vindictive, maybe evil, but they're not stupid.
Exactly.
Stupid is stupid.
The part of the plan is to keep Vincent and continue to keep Vincent and Dotish. That's all. I got later. Bye-bye.
Well, I tend to agree with Orr in this, Carlisle, because kind of personal wealth that they have accrued over, right? It shows that, well, indeed, at least from their perspective, they're not being stupid.
No, but the thing is, when you take for example, Mr. John was shot in his own surrounding, in his own yard. And the prosecutor of that case, because the prosecutor is the one who decided to prosecute the perpetrators of this particular crime. And you are telling me that in your own view, what you did was, as a lawyer, as a person that you are prosecuting these particular witnesses, these particular defendants, you felt that you did something that was really helpful to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and not all these prosecutors. I am thinking that that's the general trend in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Take the call, Carly.
Yes, good morning, you live on Nice Radio. Hello, good morning, you live.
Morning, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go
Hi,
ahead.
good morning.
Yeah, good morning to everybody.
Good
I'm going to
morning.
ask one question before I tell you what I really want to say. Do they still do the middle passage in school?
Yes.
You still teach the middle classes?
They
Part
Yes.
of
still,
the history? Yes.
well, I mean, I'm saying something wrong. You will not probably will understand. I'm 38 years old and I did it in school. Okay, and from the time I did it, I had my own. I was so sorry for these people. I felt so bad about it, and and that's why I'm wondering if they still teach it in school because
Mm.
our people should look at it. They're learning about it and know what to do,
Hmm.
but they don't. Number two, bigger bigs. I want you to call when I'm finished because I can't get you when I call you. Number three is that I spoke to Dougie this morning about this. As I said, I'm 38 years old, if you want to believe. And I've been here to death door 3 times already. And so I know the Lord have me here for a reason, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I would like for people to stand up and speak to the police station or whoever their political leaders and everything, and let them know that to get rid. I know there's a law passed that they should not have amplified music, but we need to get rid of it because for 3 days now, there's a car that's not the business place below me. I know it's not them, and there's a car that was
Yes, Sandra.
in the street down there. I live right near to the road, and the music was so loud.
By that, Sandra.
Huh?
Hmm.
It's amplified music, and the morning I woke up with a right side headache, and it lasted me for 3 days. I could I mean, my my appetite cut. I could scarcely walk, but I'm determined to do what I have to do. So I try to do what I have to do. So I'm begging, I'm pleading with everyone to let us do something to get rid of this amplified music.
All right,
Yeah.
then.
It's I mean, it's only God knows how I'm here and how I'm getting along. Because I should have somebody with me according to my daughter. I don't want nobody. I feel like if I have someone, I'm gonna prevent it from doing what I can do, and I love my independence. I have to go to the kitchen to get my supper at night, and I do it, but it was very very hard to do it. But I don't have any headache this morning, but I'm still weak. So please, because it happened to me, and I'm past my where I have to pass. But people are growing up, and if they're taking all this noise, it can happen to them. Something that because music does cause stroke and cause everything like that. And if I didn't have that determination and try to get close to my God, I don't think I would be speaking to you now.
All right. Now it's
It's
down.
very, very hard. We need to get rid of amplified music in especially in these
We
the
need to
vehicles.
manage. We need to manage amplified music. You can't get.
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
manage it.
Yep.
Just like everything else.
But I heard there's a
We
law
need to
that they're
manage
not
things in our
supposed to do
society.
it.
Yeah. They're supposed to manage it. They're supposed to manage
Yeah.
it. But you can't
I
get rid
tried
of
to
it.
get to Jimmy Prince, but knowing me, I told the lady what I wanted, but she says I have to go to the police station. So whatever the police have to do, I pray God that they will do it because it's not. I mean, I'm at the age I'm ready to go, but it's going to curtail another people's lives because I'm trying to eat. I'm on insulin. I'm a diabetic for 40 years, and I'm trying to get off the insulin because I'm following, the natural herbs and everything now, and it's working. So I'm eating properly, even though I may not eat a lot. But if I have to die, I don't want to be dying from that.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing
Uh-huh.
where I hope to bring home this stupidity, this asinine. I don't want to say the J word on radio
No, you
loosely.
know.
No, you have contacted the police with regards to this atrocity and how much it's affecting you. You've mentioned it on radio several times. But if you contact the police and the police strips your teeth and say, them is NDP people, me ain't going to bother with shit. Okay? So what are we supposed to do? Wait until the NDP gets into office and then do the result, do the opposite. Pick a ULP person and blast music illegally out of their comfort zone, and that person come in and then say, "Hey, remember Millie? Remember what they was doing Millie all the time? A good for them." I'm saying stupidity should not be our norm. I'm talking asinine behavior should not be our norm. And me, Carlisle Douglas, 62 years old, have clear conscience, would discourage it.
But the response of our security services, our police officers, should not be contingent on whether a person supports one political party or the other. I mean, they are
It's supposed to be
sworn
neutral.
public keepers of public
Should
peace,
not be.
right?
Remind Mr. Remind me of of the state of Mr. John's case.
Yep,
Brought it up this morning.
yep.
Stupidity is stupidity, and
Because let me tell you something. I had a cousin. We're double cousins, and my father died when I was 15 days old. And he was like a father to me, an uncle to me, a cousin to me, everything he was to me. John Wood, everybody knew him as John Wood. His name wasn't John Wood, it was Edgerton Wood. And he told me when he was a police, he used to ride his motorbike ride, and he says that he never gave anybody any summons. But let's say I'm gonna say somebody coming out to Billy, if you all know where Billy is, and or Daphne, I should say, was at that time because was the wooden buses, and he said he would be on Cesarine Hill, and he will stop them because they're speeding. But they would prefer him to give him a ticket and let them go. And he tell them no, he will counsel them and then he will say to them, if you were driving normal speed, where do you think you'll reach? This might be Billy or Daphne or wherever it is. And he said to them, I'm not giving you a ticket, but look out for me. I may be coming from anywhere. And if I meet you speeding, what he would do. And he said they didn't like him for that. They would have preferred that they charge him and let their thing. He said you have people's lives in your hand, which is something is out of the norm now too, because some of the buses, I called the representative from West St. George already. I spoke to him about the speeding and different things that I see happening in the area, even though I'm disabled. And you know what he says to me? That's why he wasn't repairing. They wasn't filling in the gutters in the road because of these people, speeding. I sent to call him again, and up to now, he said to me, he sent a message, you will come. As a matter of fact, the lady who works with me told me one time he passed, and he called out to me, say he'll see me. I haven't seen him up to now. Because there's so many things that I would like to talk to him about. I doubt he can do anything about it, but at least he could mention it or something like that.
But that's what I'm talking. I spoke about this emasculation of the civil service and of the
Yep.
police service, you
Yep.
know, and any other government agency or government organization. We have been emasculated over the last 23 years. Emasculation to the extent where we have one voice, and your voice must be an echo of the prime minister.
Yep.
If we do not echo what the prime minister is saying, then obviously there is no movement for you. There is absolutely no movement for you. You will remain at your particular position until you sing from the song sheet that the prime minister has to give you.
Because
See
of
what
the
we're
lack
having.
of
I just
spirit of
mentioned here
fear.
this whole issue of Mr. John, and Mr. John's situation will continue to confound me. How is it that I have seen who shot me, and I cannot go to court and say Mac shot me,
Hmm.
and the judge will say yes, Mac shot him? First of all, you're telling me that I have to get a psychiatrist to ensure that I have a right mind. I have to see the optician to determine that I can see clearly. These are things that, as I said before, are normal. I am an eyewitness, to a particular event. And I cannot testify that John Jones shot me in a courthouse in defense of what happened to me. We have been
And this
emasculated. That's what
this
we've been doing for
happens.
the last 22. We have been emasculated. A clear case like this
Yep.
cannot result in a conviction. Can a case get any clearer? Now, if you
Yep.
come into my place, Mac, and shot me,
Mm.
and I can't
Mm-hmm.
say that Mac shot me,
Mm-hmm.
then where are we?
Yep.
So, Millie, you are fighting a losing battle. My
Yep.
my DJ
God,
used to go until 4 o'clock in the morning.
All right, Millie.
I
Mm-hmm.
have done all that. My next thing was the petition. I got my residents, all the persons who are living in the vicinity of where this noise was coming from, to begin to sign a petition. And people refused to sign. I had I wanted at least 50 signatures. And I only got, I think, 4 or 5. And I'm saying, what am I going to do with this 4 or 5? This is not sufficient weight to have the police to take some action. Until 4 o'clock every morning on Saturdays, from Saturday to Sunday morning, 4 o'clock. Jiggy jiggy. I
The
never thanked God
irony.
for deaths before. It's when they had the murders up by me. Jiggy jiggy stopped.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So the emasculation of the civil service, that is what has been impacting us for the last 23 years. So people
Mm.
are afraid, not afraid. They have been conditioned to say, okay,
Right.
I need to consult the prime minister first. When you hear people tell you, they have the prime minister on speed dial, that's a literal thing, That's
Yep.
a literal thing. They have the prime minister on the speed dial of their phone. So in the event of anything, they can simply call, and apparently the prime minister answers. Don't ask me how he has all of this particular time on his hand. But if they have him on speed dial, it means that they have access to him.
But you see,
Emasculation for civil
is a
service.
big is a big part of our job to communicate to communicate the dysfunctionality of that system. Wherein that wherein that and this is something I talked about with Bigger this morning. I mentioned with Bigger this morning that the confidence of copulation is even being affected in St. Vincent and Grenadines, where the population where the population is being affected. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm watching the world. I'm watching the world for what it is. And listen to this chronic song here. Yeah, yeah. Called Capture Land.
Carry we go home. I said we settle and cease. Welcome on a Rasta man. A Rasta no live on no capital land. Well, Lord America a capital and the whole of Jamaica a capital and a long time them want think the Rasta man. Like them no know say that man a real African. You think me no member King Ferdinand and thief in Columbus have a golden plan. They make a wrong turn and end up in Caribbean. One ras, then a side kill, nothing Indian. And turn paradise in a plantation. And bring cross one ship load of African. Now here comes the thief in Queen from England. Now she come well and envy maga. Set it on top of century full of separation. And after 400 years, me send a reparation. I know them want to kill me with the taxation. But I beg you, please take me to the motherland. I beg you, carry me go home. I bring me from the east.
You see, I listen to that song and think of the 23rd. You understand? Understand the captured land is a state of mind.
Yep.
And the state of mind affects the choices that you make. If you make choices based on the captured land that they are enforcing upon you, you are part and parcel of the problem.
But your state of mind is also based on conditioning, Carly.
It's based on conditioning. But you see the 23rd Psalm? The 23rd Psalm, and have you walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, because the Lord is with you.
Well, remember under slavery, the captured land and the conditioning of the mind were worked in tandem.
That is a big part and parcel
Yeah.
why critical race theory is being opposed.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the same. Is the same thing. Is the same thing that could be said of our history, even with the Mr. John situation. No, take that out. No. That would make our prime minister look bad. Take that out of the history books. Yes,
yeah, but
that's
something. What about you?
Hold on, I got somebody on the line. Good morning, you're live on Nice Radio.
Hey, morning. Good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Hey, Francois. Morning.
Hey, Francois. Good morning.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You hear me clearly, right?
Yes, I hear you.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Now I'm following along this morning here, and interestingly, I hear the word stupid and stupidity popping up constantly. And you remember just not so long ago, I was talking about that, because since I came across that theory of stupidity, it's very interesting. I don't know if anybody got the chance to really check out,
one of the hosts was playing it, I think, on the radio sometime last week. I think it was Bert. Yes. Yeah.
But when
makes a lot of sense.
It's kind of deep, and it really is a true reflection of what we see going on it come home to us now. It started out here, but it's a very real thing, But again,
before you go on, stupidity is not an intellectual defect; it's a moral defect. That is powerful.
Exactly.
It is powerful.
Yeah, and that's the part I found very interesting, because that's why I was saying all the time, when we say stupidity, people start getting offended. Oh, you're calling people stupid and all of this, It's trying to insult my intelligence, but as he was saying, it has nothing to do with that intellectual ability. It's all about, it's more moral something.
No, it's more than morality. It's how you're trained. I know somebody, for example, they would store all of their materials from the peel of the whatever food that they were using. And they never knew why they would continue to store it until they started to spoil and smell bad. Only to recognize that their mother, their family had pigs. And that was part of their routine, part of their norm. So he just simply continued to do it. Not knowing that. So it sometimes is how we are conditioned.
Right. Okay. Point well taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Is like the background sounding noisy?
Yeah, we're having some
Yeah.
Because I'm in an area where I'm at right now, it's pouring down like crazy, and it's again noisy. That's sounding low. So, all right.
Yeah.
Try to at least say what I have to say, right? This morning I was listening again, and interestingly, even before you came on the program, before Tyler came on, I was listening to Dougie, and the issue of the minibus situation, the loud music and so on came up, right? And it's something I was thinking about highlighting today, because this I put it. I'll go back to a story now. Like about 2 days ago, a prominent primary school in Kingston took the decision to basically ban about 10 or 12 students of a grade 6 class from graduating. The graduation would be in about 3 days or so, 3-4 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so they decided, these people can't graduate. Now, what was their crime? What was their offense? They were in class. I mean, CPA done and all that, but some people, most students are home right now, grade 6. Some of them, they still go to practice and get ready for their graduation and all of that, right? So these students were in class, and I don't know, maybe blowing off some steam, they started to play some music, which could be considered vulgar lyrics. I didn't hear all of it because it seemed like they did their own little video and do little clips here and there, and they were dancing in the class. Basically, what we might say, winding up, right? In the classroom, enjoying themselves in a little childlike manner. And they did a video with it. And apparently they uploaded it to social media. I don't know if it's TikTok or one of them places there. And the authorities in the school got a hold of that. And they were irate. You know, how could you do this? So they took decision about a day or so after to not allow them to graduate. Now, I was watching, somebody was showing me a little bit of this video and so on, right? And I'm hearing the music blasting in the background. Now, I'm going to tighten back to this minibus thing. Now, we in St. Vincent and Grenades, we have been complaining. I hear this lady that came earlier, not so long ago, and she keeps complaining about the music, the loud music. But she mentioned something the other day because I noticed now it's like loud is not even enough now. It has to be vulgar, it has to be lewd. The lyrics have to be explicit. And these are what we call the hot vans. And in our culture, because they have a thing now, there's such a thing as in St. Vincent called van culture, you know?
Yes.
And the hot vans are the ones that play the loudest and the most lewd lyrics. That's the kind of road we're going down, right? So we we complain all the time. I hear it on certain radio stations in the morning, you know, the loud music. I've heard people complain about being thrown out of vans. And I've seen it, experienced it myself, where the drivers and or the conductors would literally tell you if you can't take the music, get out. They would say to you in no uncertain terms, you don't like the music, you think my music is too loud, come out the van. I know a guy, he told me a story I couldn't even believe. He was complaining about the music. The driver say, our passengers were complaining too. The driver said, nah, I ain't turning down the music. He insisted. He said, man, you need to turn on the music. People are offended. The driver stopped the van and came around and decided to get physical with him and say, look, come out the van.
Whoa.
Basically, he had to get out. He reported the matter to the police. So I was interested in what happened to the case. He said, well, boy, you know, the driver and the policeman from the same area. And, well, I didn't really hear much about it after that, you know. I said, well, of course. This is the kind of line we're going down, you know. We're doing these things, right? And people are accepting them now as normal. There are times when I've been in vans before and asked the people to turn the music down or to drive, you know, a little less recklessly. And people in the van would jump on you and ask you and tell you that if you don't like it, you know, why you don't buy your own vehicle and all of that. Other passengers. This is the kind of thing we're doing, right? So the point I'm making here is that we have normalized this behavior. So
No, we have nothing else. Francois, right? The thing is, until one of us decides to stand up and say, okay then, you want to remove me from the bus because your music is too loud, let me take you to court. Until we decide that the court should make a ruling on this particular matter, we will continue to exist like this. But I want you to explain a little bit further to me. You're telling me that on a school day, that these from grade 6 students were unattended in a classroom.
Well, and the you know, I didn't want to mention that as yet, right? Because that was one of my first questions. So where were the teachers? Because it was in the classroom, in school. They were playing the music loud, did the video, and had time to do all of that and upload it. And apparently nobody noticed, not until it was out there on social media. But then now we had the decision to punish them for this action. Now, my problem with this is that if we make this sort of behavior normal, we hear it all the time. Now, some of these same children, they travel on these minivans every day. And this is what they're exposed to every single
No,
day.
but I like how you are extrapolating, but I want to focus on this particular case first of all before you begin to deal with the general public. I am saying that the teacher that was responsible for supervising these children, the grade 6 teacher, was not held culpable.
Right.
Was in all cases, as far as you're concerned, exonerated from any type of punishment, any kind of rebuke. And only the students are suffering, and they're suffering. They're not suffering as a result of their music. They're suffering as a result of graduation, which they would have already prepared for, would have already paid for, whatever.
Exactly.
I mean,
and it's basically it's supposed to be on Wednesday, actually. Wednesday coming.
And the parents are very silent about this. The parents are not making any demonstration. They're not taking this matter to the
I don't know. I was just because I heard about it like Thursday night basically. So I haven't heard anything yesterday. I was listening out to see if I would hear people bringing up this issue because I was saying, but that can't be right. First of all, who was in charge of the class? Or person. And how did it get to all of that? And secondly, this drastic action is like, to me, this is the first thing came back to me, the minibus situation, because man, I listen and they drive up and down the place all the time, and it's normal. When you try to raise these issues, sometimes people try to push them aside, like if they don't really count. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, they do it all the time. But
as I said before,
children.
But I'm saying this is a public transport matter. This is a public transport matter. And the government has a public transport policy. You're telling me that the policy is, you can't simply have a policy, a no music policy. I think they have done that in Barbados. And they have done that in developed countries. We are so backward that we simply can't institute a policy. Hey, now, you're providing public transportation. This is the measure that we're taking to operate on a public matter, a public transport basis. This is what you ought to do. These are the direction that you ought to follow. We cannot simply do that. I don't understand that. You're
because
not having a party. I am paying for a service.
I've seen in the past, like probably over a decade ago, where the police have been sending out all sort of messages and talking about loud music, and they even had things, I don't know if it was a petition or some sort of thing in the newspapers asking people to sign and all of that. Now I'm saying, is it so difficult for you to crack down on these lawless kind of drivers, people who just play the music loud and lewd all over?
And that's the question, because I mean, we do not have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines a state-owned public transportation system. We have a transportation system that is heavily dependent on private entities, and there are rules and regulations that I believe should govern that transportation system. First of all, that is why, for example, if you look at the side of a van, there's a little black square with some letters on it that says maximum carrying weight, license to carry 18 passengers, and all. That is only a fraction of it. What about the comfort and safety of the passenger? Because if you're playing loud music that can damage the hearing of people, you are compromising the safety, the health of the passengers. So this should be a public issue.
It's a public issue. I remember some years ago, our former teacher, Jardine, did an article. He went to the extent of writing an article in the papers about how our nation is
music teacher
becoming deaf.
Okay.
You see, gentlemen, with everything, hold a second, Doug. I'm bringing you in after this. With everything that you're describing, with everything that we are addressing here this morning, including the conversation that we had with Bigger Bigs, it shows that this current administration has lost its way, and everything is falling down.
Apart.
Everything is dysfunctional, and that is what I would want to promote, as opposed to killing anybody.
Right? I hear you. I know what you're referencing there, but I hear you.
Let it blast.
Carlisle, good morning.
Sir. Morning.
Good morning, Doug.
Morning, Doug. Are they about? I listen, I listen. But listen,
Mhm.
let me give you something with that situation in Belair with Millie. I want to tell you that what she's saying is true because I kind of frequent the spa when I'm in St. Vincent, right?
It's not only there. It's not
No,
only
no.
there.
What
Even
I'm
what
saying,
what
Carlisle.
Millie is complaining about is even present in
Well,
Leyou
well, that
with,
is what
with
I'm getting at.
Right.
my 103-year-old neighbor. Yeah,
Well,
Mm.
it's something
when
I
I
attest to. Yeah.
when I go to the spa, I look at those people in those vans, and what she complaining about is 100% true. But let me get a good one with the same van. I personally has not rode in a passenger van until about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, Saturday. I went up into Richland Park in a van. And I make sure I choose a van with an older driver with gray hair like mine, so that I'm hoping he got some common sense in those gray hairs, right?
Mhm.
Which he did. And
Are you
I was very
are you
happy.
not stupid?
I was happy with his driving,
Mhm.
and I was happy with the music. But in Edinburgh, where I reside when I'm in St. Vincent, the school children lives in some of the school children who goes to the Drippy Eustace Secondary School in Lower Edinburgh. They live in Top Edinburgh. They will walk up and sit under the mango tree directly opposite my house and wait for one of three particular van. One is off the road when I was home in St. Vincent for about a month. I looking at it every day, sitting in a particular yard I could see from where I live. The other two, only when school is over or in the morning when school begins, they have the most loudest, vulgar music you will ever want to hear. And let me tell you something. I look at those kids. I'm a very observant person. It has about 4 or 5 or 6 other vans running. And I'm telling you this. Them kids, they're going in them other van.
Mm.
They're waiting on this particular van. But I'm telling you about those when they're coming up in the evening. Some of them is about 5 minutes walking or less from the home, from where I live. They sit under that tree. And when the van goes up, they don't go up in the van. They wait until the van goes back downtown and they jump in the van. And you got to see them when they're coming back up now because they get the back seat. And one of them, young one, is still in khaki clothes by the window, pumping his finger with his middle finger stick up in the air. You understand me? Pumping it to the music. And I saying, good God, why you don't hit a lamp pole and mash the hand clean off for me? No, 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 no. I watching them every single day. I in Edinburgh, I looking at them. And you see those guys, those conductors and those drivers, they are the biggest problem in all of this situation. I look at them because all at 10 o'clock, all at 10:30, 11, you see them driving up and down. And that music ain't pumping because now they are carrying adults, most of adults or other people like that. And they're very
Mm.
few and very far between. So they had to play the music that they could make their money going up and down. But sooner them school children get out, the worthlessness start. And it ain't only Edinburgh, it's all over St. Vincent the Grenadines. And and the government and the police is another big part of the problem because you have law enforcement who ain't enforcing no law in the way they're supposed to, fairly and squarely across the board. Because the Friday before I came up, which is 2 weeks ago, Friday night, I coming up 9 step, and one of my friends who I go fishing with just about every day, The police pull he over right on top of 9 step. He waiting for me. I coming up the step. He coming up back street towards Edinburgh, and he stand up waiting for me. Soon as I reach up, I hear the police calling by his name. Hey, come here. I didn't know what the police. I said, what the hell? He getting a ride and me ain't getting none. The man calling by his name. Come. I said, but he getting a ride and me ain't getting none. Next thing I notice, the police and then come out. And the police searching him. They must find he got a weed in his bag, detect that, roll it up and whatever they do with it. And they're looking for guns. And the police who's searching him is cursing him and insulting him and telling him how he's a buller.
What?
Yes. And all this kind of stuff. And I told him, I said, man, you got to go to the police and make a report about it. Because what happened the night before, which was the Thursday night, they had an incident up in Edinburgh, and the police must be looking for a particular person, and he shiny light in the guy's house. And the guy said, don't shine the light in my house. And they had a confrontation. So now the police is revenging him. And the police telling him, 2 police said to him, I said down there, the 2 police said to him, time is longer than twine. So I said to them, well, time is longer than twine for all of we. He said, what you say? I said, time is longer than twine for all of we. And I said, don't never forget, once a police, twice a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that. Then they let him go and they go up the road and they tell you, don't worry, we're going to catch you sooner or later. That's a threat to me. This is police in SSU uniform. So the police is lawless in St. Vincent and Grenadines too. And I looking at this, I said, what the hell? You don't treat people like that. We all human beings. Some of we got with shortcomings. And you have a police who is on duty in a white van with a G, I forget G something on it, who is working, patrolling in SSU uniform, out there having a personal vendetta against a civilian in St. Vincent. I told him, go to the police and make a report. And if they ain't do nothing about it, I personally will call Buju Bailey and report it to him because he's the chief in charge of those things now. You know? But, you know, these guys don't like to go to the police with stuff like that. Even if you had your past history with the police, right? A police not supposed to walk up a civilian, searching him and telling him you're the buller. This ain't supposed to happen, brother. And this is what happened in St. Vincent. And
dog, they took his weed too, right?
They took it. They took the weed from him.
But aren't we supposed to have some sort of decriminalization of a certain quantity?
No, well, I know what they took from him is 1 split. Because I saw him. And when the police tell him, you're lucky to him, I would have locked you up.
You see?
And hear what the police say. Boy, you get away. Today's Friday and Monday's a holiday. You're lucky.
Wow.
But dog police are behaving like that in America too. So don't talk.
But
there's
listen,
no special
but listen, I ain't disagreeing with your odd. I ain't disagreeing with your odd. But I'm showing you something that I said, and I was the only independent witness from the police and the guy. You know, and I told him, I said, you got to report these people. I know police is lawless all over the place, but it comes back to the music and thing. A lot of police owns the van.
Yes.
And the friends who is police would not give them ticket. One of them hit my brother truck because he overtake. He can't wait in the traffic in the morning. He had to overtake. So now he squeezed in and hit my brother truck. Mash up his light and mash up his indicator light and everything like that. My brother stopped there, call the police, they come and take measurement. He take off and go. And the the magistrate now, who was the commissioner, Colin John, my brother went to him. And they went and picked him up. Picked the two of them up. Because the other one threatened my brother. I just call them the owner. But they are the conductors because they operate like owners. And the police who owns the van is his brother driving. He now telling my brother, oh God, we go pay for everything, but give him a break now. Meaning, don't let them pursue the case. This is what happened. The police is some of the most lawless people in St. Vincent in this case. And you have good police, very, very good police doing the job and doing it diligently. And these black eyes, I just call them, is dirtying up the waters for the good people. So the police is cannot enforce the law when they own the vans that is breaking the law. And that is not right. That is not right. It should be across the board. And yes, it happened in other country. I talked to my friends from Dominica. I talked to my friends from St. Lucia, who I have as neighbors, and we talk about these things. And he said, Doug, it's across the board. It's all over you go. But where do we start to fix it? Where do we have to try to start to fix it? Is where we live. And it's where we're from.
Let me grab this. Let me grab this call out. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Just me calling back. I got cut out here a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, fine, sir. Yeah.
All right. Where that is concerned, or I know you said that it also happens in America, but it was reported in America that you see, even with Donald Trump with 34 charges, there was also a policeman that got pulled in for having sex with a minor. I think I heard Hamilton talking about it this morning as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I mean, the difference is that. The difference is we're not saying that there won't be persons in any given society who would want to abuse their privilege and cross the border. I'm saying it's up to us to ensure that is not that don't become the norm, and that is something that we generally accept. By saying that okay, they did that. They did that when the ULP was in office, so now the NDP is in office. You know, it's our turn.
No,
you know, and continue the dysfunctionality.
Don't turn it into a vicious cycle.
It should never be like that because Carlisle, let me tell you something. I have seen here in the United States of America where a white racist police has done something terrible to a black man, abuse him because of his racism, and another police who is the sergeant, who is a black woman, reported him. They fired him and they persecuted him. And the person who testified against him was a black police sergeant. I have seen that already.
Yep.
And that you never seen in St. Vincent.
Well, that's true, Doug. Although I
have
really
seen
agree. I really agree with what Ord said, but there's a difference, right? We have racial profiling in the United States, as Doug just gave the example of.
And we have political profiling in St. Vincent.
Okay. Enough said.
Yeah.
But to add to that, what we're saying there, these sort of things happen all over the place. I mean, but when you put St. Vincent into perspective, it's a small island, but it seems as though, like in a lot of places, you have the rule and you have the exception.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In St. Vincent now, we are taking some of these things and making them the rule. So the bad behavior, the lewd lyrics and all of that happens. Because let me give you an example. The same lyrics we're talking about these songs and what's his name? Doug just mentioned about Dominica. It seems that most of the music right now that is this kind of content is coming out of the same Dominica. And it's like they're daring everybody to, like drivers daring each other to play as loud as possible and as vulgar as possible. And what's happening now? You have events. So, for example, you might see a sporting event pop up. It's supposed to be a family event, a cricket competition or something like that. And then you find that they hire a DJ to sort of bring the crowd. You hire a DJ to come there and but this is the same DJ that plays in the parties and all over the place. And they bring the same music because that's like the in thing. So even at these events, I've seen it. We have football matches and things like that. Sporting events, school sport. You know, where they come and they bring, you know, these days when you have your school sports, everybody asking you who going to play, which DJ going to play at your sports. Because that's how the thing come now. And so they bring the DJs and then that's what they expect and the DJs give them what they want. And so coming back to the school issue, I don't want to lose track of this just yet. We normalize the behavior in the society. We just turn a blind eye, like if okay, it's not no big deal. That's how they do it, you know. And then when the children, the little children, the impressionable ones see what's going on and realize, oh well, this is normal behavior. Every day I ride in the van, I hearing it. Every party I go, every sporting event I go, when the school have fair, hearing them all over the place. So it's normal for them. So this is the song they grow with. This is what they know. So they would go on and they would play these songs and sing them. They know the lyrics. Somebody was telling me the other day, a student, they were having an event, and the student was asking if they could, oh, you could play this sort of music. Could you play the clean version? Now, if they're asking for the clean version, it means that they're aware that there's a dirty version.
Yeah.
You understand? They already there, you know. So when we're trying to tell them, oh well, you know, we playing the clean one. You hear it on the radios. A lot of the popular radio stations they play these same songs, and say the editing, they're taking out the raw, you know, part of it. But everybody knows the song already. So when you hear the children singing, you know, they don't edit. They sing everything. But the thing I'm saying now is that if we have such a problem with these things, why don't we crack down now? Why don't we be a little more adamant that we have to stop this foolishness?
That's right, but that's right. And that is so. No, you are on
stop
the
your
track there.
graduation
No,
for that. We're going to block this. A highlight in the school career, and you say you're going to take that away from them as punishment.
no, but you are on point right there. We are a country of laws. These 10 students.
You mean we should be a country of laws?
We are a country of laws. We still remain a country of laws. And these 10 children.
According to the Constitution, we should be.
No, but these 10 children, if nobody speaks on their behalf, we are just doing like what everybody else is doing. We need to voice our concern. These 10 students who were violated by the teacher for not being present. These are 10 and 11-year-olds. They were violated by the teacher by not being present. The teacher decided that he has other or she has other better things to do than to go spend time babysitting these children. They're out of school. They have finished their CPA. They should not be in school. And if they came to school for a particular reason, I am not going to supervise them. He is the adult or she was the adult in that particular situation. And you're telling me that that person is not culpable? We need the voiceless. We are supposed to be the voice of the voiceless. We are a country of laws, and we need to ensure that the laws are practiced all
maybe
over.
that's a way to pointing the finger in the other direction rather than, because the other option is to say, well, where the teachers were. So the other thing is, well, they'll say the children's fault. But we see that happening all the time. With the police issue you just described, there's like, I guess it's a case of follow the leader. We see how the business going in the country. Everybody everything is like personalized. You know, everybody's sure that you do
emasculation. They know they have to go back to Papa. Papa seems to be running everything. And that's the unfortunate thing about
running everything wrong.
This story makes me wonder if teachers now have enjoyed qualified immunity. I mean, is this where we are now? Because I remember, you know, as a teacher here in New York, I saw one of my colleagues got suspended because they stepped out to use the bathroom, a female teacher. There was nobody there to, and 2 students got involved in a little tussle. The students were suspended and the teacher was suspended also.
Listen, in this country here, all the students have to say is Mac hit me. Whether or not you have an inquiry and you have to have an investigation and you have to prove that particular point. That's what happens. We are a country of laws, the same laws that apply in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but we don't utilize those particular capabilities at home. We don't have any public defender. And because we don't have public defenders at home, people who do things pro bono, so to speak, or we have a situation where the government is paying for these public defenders, we don't have that at home. We don't have any system at home. So when the police decide to pick up Doug and Doug ain't have no money, Doug has to go and plead on his own behalf. And he doesn't know the law, so he has to go there. And because the the prosecutor now knows the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he or she can simply abuse Doug as far as that is concerned. And Doug has no case to answer to, so to speak, or he has a case to answer to and he can't answer because he has no public defender, somebody who knows the law.
And sometimes, odd, even in a case like my good friend Paul Imad Scrub, even after they done do you all this atrocity, at the end of the day, you wind up losing because what happened with Imad live in the United States, and he is in St. Vincent a certain time of vacation. They jack him up, take away his passport in St. Vincent. He cannot travel. So he lost his job in America. He got to get an attorney down there. He got to live. Because when people go on vacation, they go for a limited time.
That's right.
He lost everything. And at the end, they say the lawyer put in, who he had to pay, put in a case for a no submission case. The magistrate accepted the no submission case. But in the meantime, Imad has already lose 6 months, lost his job, lost his apartment, and lost everything, and no compensation. That is why I love this country, America.
No, but Imad can sue. He can sue. He has that recourse. He can sue the government.
But listen, I told him, because I told Imad, that's why a lot of people threatens me in going home and telling me I am going to get arrested. But I would like them to arrest me, because I will do like the Taiwanese. I will sue them in the Southern District of New York. And any money they gain, it will come to me before it himself reach to them. Why they don't try me? Because you got to know the law, and you got to put back over belly and sue them. I told them, I sue them if it costs me everything. If I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize and I'll move on. But if I'm right.
Gentlemen, in the context of what we are talking about.
One second. You got somebody on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Neil Live on Nice Radio.
Good afternoon, Carlisle, Macat.
Hey, Mikey, what it is, man? What it is?
All right, man.
Mikey.
Okay, odd. Yeah, man. How you doing?
Yeah, that was done. Yeah.
All those brothers in the studio. There's a school teacher in school, whether it's in primary or secondary school, that you still will address as Miss this or Mr. that.
Absolutely.
As old as we are now. You see them, you will say Mr. this or Miss this, because there was a level of respect that come from our home. That even though when you go to school, it was instilled in you. When we see police officers back in the day, they had a certain command. They command the respect from you growing up as youth. Sometimes you even think that sometimes just by seeing them, you get scared.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because they had the stature where they command that respect. No, and I'm saying that to say this. You see, what passing for law enforcement in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and professionalism, if we had a group of lawyers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that was willing to take on the police department and a lot of foolishness that passing for governance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for governance, this country, we would have bankrupt years ago. St. Vincent would have been bankrupt. Because I cannot see police officers locking up a person. You say you do an investigation, you keep them in the prison system, only for come out and a lawyer to make mincemeat out of the case that you present. So I'm asking now, what happened to the Attorney General, or the person who's supposed to work alongside our police department, who's supposed to look at those cases, pick it apart and say, my brethren, you can't pick up that person with this case because we'll look like fools. Lawyers will make us look like fools in our courthouse. Get the evidence. Cross the T's and dot every I's. So when you bring that case, a lawyer will have to come to you and beg for a plea bargain. But yet lawyers making our police department look like fools. You're picking up a person. picking up a person, treat them with scant courtesy, and then later on you gotta let them go. No, those forces are sue the police department, sue the government, and sue the Minister of National Security because he said he's a legal. And he's supposed to make sure
and
people in place.
that has become part and parcel of the norm. You know, you want to ask Adriana King, and you know what has transpired
This
with us.
This is where I'm pivoting, Carly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All like those Ashell cases and all these kind of things. Where you could come tell me that a policeman could bring case and then you can't find people to even make a proper prosecution. Let them go people all those cases with the cocaine that they found in the clinic up there and all kind of things.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Nigel, and my brethren, as I'm saying,
and which is why I was saying to Odd this morning that we supposed to be a country of laws, but we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wait, Mikey, unfortunately, go ahead, Francois.
Yeah. Like as Mikey is saying,
yes,
lawyers will make mincemeat of these cases. But you see, you have to understand that most of these cases, they're not really there about. It's not about the law. It's about the vindictiveness of it all. They know. I am absolutely sure that 90% of the time they know that they're going to lose the case. They know they don't have a case.
Yep.
But they get orders, from what I understand, when orders come down to you and say, look, go and get this person. Then you have to get them to. So the idea, the thing is not about the law and the legality of the whole thing, It's for punishment. It's a punitive measure. So then, okay, I'm going to send you there. You're going to go into the cell with all the filth and all the mosquitoes and everything. You're going to go through this humiliation. I know you're going to win in the end, but even after it's done, I've already humiliated you.
Exactly.
I was thinking about this case with Adrian, for example, and I'm saying in any civilized society, anywhere in the world, it's a written and unwritten world for men, real men, to be protectors and providers for the women, for women in general. That's why it's such a crime when you hear about wars in different areas, in Ukraine, in Gaza Strip, or wherever it is. And it's such an atrocity when you hear women and children. You notice, normally when you hear it on the news, they specify that 200 people were killed, and there were 120 women and children. It's said separately because it's understood that as men, we're supposed to be looking out for them. Right?
Men is the fighters, men is the hunters.
You have a man who wants to consider himself as a top man in this place, and is using, not just that he's not looking out, he's fighting a woman and a child, and is using the state resources to do it. I mean, this is disgraceful.
It is.
One of the children is in danger.
Yep. But Mikey,
we are in a genocide.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines is on the record as being...
Our young men in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is an endangered species.
Yep.
Even our woman is being killed on the side of the road in trash bag. And we have to stop those foolishness. Plain and simple.
Mikey, we are on record in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as being the only country, at least in my memory, of having a set of drug leaders charged with felony murder. Traffickers being sent back home to their country of origin. Expecting that they would come back to face the charges in the end. I mean, this stupidity
we have a political directorate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines managing the country, and he has weaponized our police department, weaponized the justice system against innocent Vincentian. So I don't see sometimes all pivot back into making us productive people, because if a person is living in a country, you're watching a weaponized justice system against one class, those that are connected are being slipped through the cracks. My brethren, you is not going to get a productive society like that.
But Mikey, you forgot.
No bird fly on one wing. Yeah, my brother.
You forget to mention he's weaponized the people too, because we have more murders by gun-related crimes than anything else in St. Vincent and the Grenadines now. So he have weaponized the people also.
Teach them. We like to listen to the brothers and them. Teach them all. Teach them all. Teach them.
But listen.
Everything I said was that being weaponized to the detriment of the Vincentian people of what trajectory.
But Mikey, listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen this.
Oh, bless up, Mikey.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you
Let me
this.
listen to the dog. Yeah.
You have some
Okay.
people. You have some people in St. Vincent who got legal gun license, who has no business that himself having a sling and shot. I'm telling you. And that is one of the biggest
after you,
problem
man. Let
in
me
St.
listen
Vincent
after you.
Grenadines
All right,
because
Mikey, blessings.
some
Okay,
of the
all right,
same
brothers. Take it easy, man. I'm listening. I'm
so-
following you.
Right.
All right.
some of these same people who is lawless and have legal gun license given to them by the state of St. Vincent and Grenadines is buying bullets and selling the bullets to people who have illegal guns and who is some terrible people on the street with illegal guns, and they are getting the bullets from people who have legal gun license in Vincent. That whole gun license thing is a scam in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and all of them who dealing in issuing license should be arrested. They should be arrested because you have people who have legal gun license buying bullets in St. Vincent for people who has illegal guns and killing most of our young men between 18 and 40 is dying like dogs on the street of St. Vincent and Grenadines, and some of the bullets that kill them is legal bullets, even though it come out of an illegal gun. And I know that for a fact.
We have had an emasculation of the civil service over the last 23 years. All departments, as a matter of fact, any head of department, and sometimes even the juniors in these departments, they have Ralph on speed dial for a particular reason. Mr. Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mac needs a gun license. Should I give him issue one? That's what happens in St. Vincent and Grenadines.
Yep.
Everything goes back to Papa.
Yep.
An emasculation of the civil service. I mean,
You know,
if Mr. John, in his own private
I
residence,
was just about to talk.
cannot identify his shooter
Yep.
in
Yep.
the courthouse, boy, we are far removed from any kind of sane civilization in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
But let's lean into that a little bit. Let's lean into that a little bit, right? We are living in the 21st century. We have had some serious technological advancement in crime fighting, right? You have Mr. John accusing a female and two males of being involved in his shooting, right? I mean, yes, it's on record that that female, after the fact, called the prime minister. Why? Well, we could all speculate, but we all know what it is. But a gun was fired. That's an undisputable fact. A gun was fired. Mr. John was injured in his leg. Firearm gunshot residue. When the police officers came to investigate, swabbed the hands of all of these three individuals. Get the gun, do a ballistic test to see if it matches the bullet. Yeah. Apparently, also there are reports that a statement was taken by the said owner of the gun. The statement was never admitted, was never taken into court by the police. And you see, the irony is, the person who is accused of doing the actual shooting is still prosecuting gun crimes as a member of the office of the Director of Public Prosecution.
And Mac, what I've been saying all morning, if we're not careful, we will accept all of these ills as good governance. But somebody's on WhatsApp and good afternoon, you're live on Nice Radio.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Carl, great program this morning. Into the afternoon. But I'm calling really about two things. The one with the new song that came out from Zion I. Zion I is a very good Calypsonian. I'm not sure if he's writing his own songs or who's writing them. But with this song, I have a problem with it. And, you know, I love culture. I love Calypso and everything. I don't think it was in the best interest of him or his writer, if there was a writer, to produce a song something like that. To me, that is reckless. And you have to play songs that are going to be able to play and heard on the radio and throughout St. Vincent, outside of St. Vincent.
All right, I think what the song was in reaction to the Reckless Society that we have here.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't react to with recklessness to recklessness.
Go ahead. Just making sure we're on the same page. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know of all the reckless things that are happening in our country. Trust me. I mean, I would get off that and move on to something else because I know I have a limited months of time. They're complaining about the billboard that was put up by the NDP, which is NDP have every right to put that billboard up, and I would support them and sponsor 2 billboards when I talked to Dr. Friday. But I was home recently, and I got on a van because I just wanted to see what the people were complaining about. I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I got in a van and I drive in, say, well, I'm going to go out to Honnestville in the van and see what the reaction is. While I was in the van, a lady told the conductor, drop her off at the wall boss. And I said, I'm looking around. I'm to myself because I wanted to see what the what's wall boss. Because I've heard of the billboard before, but it was not until I got up to French's Gap and I looked up and I see this humongous sign with Prime Minister Gunstarb and his 2 other colleagues and that billboard. So that billboard, his billboard has now become a landmark in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we are not. Because only in countries like, that has dictators, you'll see them, except for election times, you would not see a billboard up with nobody as president except for in those dictatorial countries. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, but what was reckless about Zion's song? Can you
let me? All right, good.
Yeah, well, when he talk about chopping, we have so much crime that is happening in our country, and when he talk about chopping his head off or chopping his hands off, I mean the wording is wrong, and I absolutely disagree with it. I mean, he's a good social commentator, but I think whoever wrote that song, if he wrote it, they should
what was reckless about the song? Can you please explain?
Reckless because he's talking about killing somebody. I mean, he don't have to call the person in, but we have so much killing that is going on in St. Vincent. We have so much accident that are being happened. People are not being held accountable. And for him to get there on social media and play a song like that where he wants to, the people must chop off his hand or chop it.
No, but listen, my brother. Let me just say this. You are very disingenuous in what you say. You're very, very disingenuous. And let me tell you why I say that. He said you should kill them politically. You should chop off their hand politically. All he's saying is politically. You are forgetting, or you are leaving that out by whatever means. And that is one of the key things that is so disingenuous about it. He said, do it politically. And I happen to agree with that 100%. He says, politically.
But Doug,
you can't go wrong with that.
We have a problem with Camilo's statement too. So I mean, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
That's what I was about to say. That's what exactly was about to say. Doug, I know you. You probably don't know me, but I know you, and trust me. I want to see the back of this government. Trust me. But when something is wrong, we have to call it. We have to call it out. And to me, it is wrong.
But you just agreed with the poster. You just agreed, with the poster that indicate to us that we are a country that cannot seem to come into control of our moderate. You just said you're in support of that, you know. And when a song comes out, and here now, when we sing calypsos in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you know, calypsos come from a slavery tradition where the only way in which we could have echoed what was happening to us was in our narratives, was in our songs, was in our folk songs.
Okay,
and that continues today. So you can't tell me about Zion, man. You got to be making joke.
No, Mr. Valentine, I know you're very well educated, man. On the poster, hold on the poster, how many names are there? How many politician names? And we know what Zion is talking about, but how many names are on that poster that says they were accused of killing? Let's go and chop the guys' heads off who were doing these killings.
Politically.
How many names are there? They talk politically. Dog.
Satire is a part of the way in which we listen. The slaves could not call their masters any names, but in their satire, in the way in which they term their references, clearly most persons would recognize what exactly they were referring to. And the same, we have not moved away from that.
That is exactly what I'm talking
Satirically,
about.
So what Zion is saying, what Zion is really saying, let's get rid of them out of office. Basically, that's what he said. That's basically what the song is saying.
But Doug, come on. We all on the same page here when it comes to getting rid of this
I
government.
don't know about that because I don't want to get rid of nobody. I want to see them out of office. I don't want to get rid of them.
You see that?
Gentlemen. I think the choices of words is what makes all the difference in the world. Like I was responsible.
I agree.
For the past couple of years, it would have been my responsibility where the broadcast is concerned. And before Zion and I would come in, would come on, I would get a message from Dougie. Carlisle, watch what's going on here. Use your discretion. Listen and use your discretion. You know, in as much, like I said, in as much as he speaks for a lot of Vincentians here, okay, in as much as his songs will convict the thoughts of St. Vincent and of most persons in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we still have to be responsible. We still have to be responsible because you see, just like Doug said, when the children all get into the van and the one in the khaki clothes gets in the back and have his hand outside with his finger sticking outside and pumping up his middle finger, and he wish he can get he wish the van could get an accident and lick off his hand. You know, in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, we have to find a way to speak to that young man in the khaki clothes before we come to those kind of wishes with the solution to the damn problem.
Yeah,
and I'm saying this morning,
I am one of the biggest defenders of free speech. But free speech comes with a great deal of responsibility.
One at a time, please. One at a time. I can't hear the two of you at the same time.
Okay, sorry. No, I'm getting ready to go, Carlisle. But I was just saying, we as adults have to be responsible people. And when wrong is wrong, we have to call it wrong. I think they need to revise that song because how many radio stations are we going to hear that song on?
One.
I mean, yes, you have the social people, local people who's going to hear it. But it's not going to hear it. You're not going to hear it anyplace else. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're not going to hear it on the radio.
But let me tell you something. The California
show, Carlisle, I listen every Saturday. Good show. I listen every Saturday. Good show. You guys are good, but I disagree this morning with y'all.
The Calypsonian, in a lot of cases, is the social commentator for our society.
It is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what something that you can't leave out of this equation.
Mm-hmm.
And when Zionite say we go kill them politically, I don't have no problem with that. I have no problem with that because I don't see it as nobody go out there saying to kill somebody. I don't see it like that. He never said that.
Well, Doug, as I was about to say, right, I am the biggest defender of free speech. But we, as human beings, we have to understand that free speech is not absolute. And with free speech comes a great deal of responsibility, as the caller said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have had incidents in the past where, on the other side of the political aisle, we have heard Saboto speak, we should trample them down. We have heard Julian made a reference in a dog whistle kind of manner to stoning Jomo out of South Leeward. We have heard Camilo speak about NDP people have to suffer and die politically. So we should hold the people who we listen to those very same standards. I mean, yes, I understand the premise of Zionai's song, and I love Zionai. I think Zionai is one of the greatest calypsonians, contemporary calypsonians that we have right now. He's very talented. He's very forthright. He's very outspoken, but there has to be a level of responsibility in the lyrics that he put forward, and he could have put forward, the premise of his calypso in a different way, rather than using the in the violent kind of
But Mark,
narrative and
Yeah,
so
but
on and so forth.
Mark, we must agree.
where is the violence in this, Mark?
Mm, mm,
Where is the violence in this,
Doug,
Mark?
wait, Doug.
mm,
Mark, if the Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves, says that
mm,
he is the blackest Prime Minister of St.
mm,
Vincent and the Grenadines,
mm,
or if Mayor Motley says, I am the blackest Prime Minister in St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
mm.
you would definitely interpret Ralph's statement different to Mayor Motley's statement, not true?
Yep,
Because Ralph is a white man.
right.
When a politician makes a statement like that, I
Mm,
would agree with you. That is
mm,
irresponsible. But when a
mm,
Calypsonian makes it, and I am talking Calypsonians, that's what they're trying to do. They are the
mm.
social conscience of society. When he makes
Exactly.
that statement, I see that and I interpret that from a completely different perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
just to add to that, the language. When we use language like this, I mean, we say it's dynamic and all of that, right? But there are
Mm,
times when certain words, I look at it, I haven't heard it, right? Somebody just promised to send it to me. I didn't get a chance to listen to it. So I can't really say too much, but they will give me the gist of it, right?
mm.
What could it be? Could it be now that Zion was basically now using maybe Camilo's own thing and hitting back in a similar fashion?
It is what he was doing. It is.
It is what?
It is.
So
It
Yes,
is.
then
it was.
does
It
become
was.
so
Well, it
insensitive,
seems.
you
It
know, it's
seems.
like I'm using your weapon now back at you.
Well,
You
you
Yeah,
see.
understand?
Buzz,
Well, you see.
could I
When you
could I
use it,
could I
Dougie,
interject?
give me a second. Give me a second, Dougie. Gentlemen, when you see when you using Camelo weapon, when you're using Camelo weapon
Mhm.
and instigate and it basic and you instilling war in our society, is our society you're destroying?
That is true.
It is
I
our
mean,
society you're
the
destroying.
same way as we acknowledge that political figures have
Yeah.
influence,
So
Calypsonians have
that is what
influence too.
I'm saying.
Yeah, they
That is
do,
what
but I
I'm
want
saying.
to agree. I agree with this one, because you see, when
Could
you
I
it's
could
like
I
okay,
interject?
something is big. We see a lot of things out there and they're big, but there are times when we have to use gigantic
All right.
rather than big
All
to
right.
get the message
Could I
across.
interject?
You understand?
Let's hear from the elder in our society. Yeah, Dougie.
Good day, guys.
Yeah.
I
Good
Dougie.
day, Dougie.
New
I got
room sleep clean, but the old room know the corner. Tell them, Dougie. Tell
Mm,
them. Mm.
I'm telling you two perspectives.
mm,
One as a station manager
Mm.
mm,
that has always tried to project, always try, and me repeat that, to project for a good society. What is a good society? The Bible say what is not good is evil. I want to repeat that. The Bible say what is not good is evil. So we have to keep a definition in mind
Yeah, but the Bible is being contextual. The Bible is
Yes,
referring to
yes,
something particular.
yes.
Because you
Yeah.
can't tell me that if it's not good, it's evil. That is a really
Yes.
huge assumption.
Yes, well, I agree with you. It's contextual. Okay. The chorus of this song, I don't have a problem with when he said we must kill him politically. I don't have a problem. It is what is being said down in the verses of the song that I have a difficulty with, because the inferences are clearly things that I am not comfortable with. And I understand what you're saying, Art. I understand what you're saying, Art. The problem when we make reference to what Camilo said, Camilo, after recognizing the error of his pronouncement, then added politically. Because the very first time that he said it, that seemed not to be played, but only the part where he added politically was played. The very first time Camilo said that, he never said politically. When he came back on stage, that's when he added, and all that other was erased from social media, from their videos, because they recognized the serious error that was made. And he came back that very same day and he corrected what he said. Because what he said was extremely dangerous. We can't eat our cake and have it. We criticize that. And I keep saying, when you play that part and then you wait for him to say politically, that was an addendum to what he had said originally. Now, I know that Zionai has been using Camilo's own words and the ULP's own words to produce the song to bring about this kind of discussion and come into the national discourse. I am, as a station manager, uncomfortable with the verses of the song, not the chorus, not the chorus. Because if he only would have rephrased it where the inferences do not speak to harmful behavior, it becomes a problem for me as a station manager. And that, I'm telling you, is what I want to make reference to the guy, what the guy said about the posters. What is wrong with St. Vincent and the Grenadines is that they don't want to hear this. We have been operating under a dictatorship for the last 23 years. Ralph can do what the hell he feels like, and nobody could do anything about it. So those posters under the RPA should not be there. When they bought Juicy Building, I've said this many times. The reason why Ralph had bought Juicy Building for $2 million more than
the value
it was on the market for and was going to be sold for 4.2 million, and he paid 6 million. That spot coming into the city was to be that place for that kind of posters, to have him as the way they do in dictatorship countries, in Russia, in Venezuela, in whatever, in Cuba.
You remind us who bought the Juicy Building?
NAS.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
No.
They didn't buy it. Government bought it. The government bought it and they owe NAS and they give NAS as payment.
As part of a partial payment of
yes.
$15 million.
Yes, of $18 million.
WhatsApp caller, please hold. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So when NDP puts up a poster, I'm dealing with two things here. We are just responding to the caller. When NDP put up a poster, and that poster spoke about to the issue of crime in the country, and Ralph gets on the radio as to say he got permission. Caesar is giving Caesar permission, because that was not in in ULP's headquarters. If it was up there, there was no problem. But you put it in public space, and you are now hiding behind that the planning give you permission. Well, that's wrong. The planning have no right to give you that kind of permission, because cabinet can override planning, even if planning had said no, verbally or otherwise. Cabinet could say, we are going to give permission to put it up to ourselves, because that's the way dictators. But you know, if
That's
you
right.
notice, Ralph said he will never take responsibility nor blame for nothing. But he takes credit for when something goes well. If it goes bad, or if it has a problem. No, IMAD, the government knew from day one that they could not win IMAD.
Exactly.
But dictators operate in this way. They can't do you anything, so they will do any and everything to hurt you. How did they make Ahmad pay? They make Ahmad pay by he losing all his benefits for what he worked for all the years, because he abandoned his job by being arrested in St. Vincent. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were not going to win. A lot of cases, the cases going on now between the civil servants and all the things that has happened over with the police, civil servants, and that the teachers and them take government to. They knew they couldn't win. But what they do, they decide they will destroy you in the process. Who dare challenge me? Marcus the Freitas. They knew that they could not win Marcus the Freitas in court. But they have the power of the state behind them. And they delay and delay this matter, and they won't do it. And he comes up with all kinds of fanciful explanation. One day he put his hand around me and say, well, you know, if I do this, the cases that Olivier, the chief surveyor thing, they're going to challenge the government. Well, let them I told him, I said, let them challenge the government, because the government is at fault to put in a person who they know not going to do what is correct, but only doing the government's bidding. And so you destroy Marcus in the process. You know you can't win him, so you start paying him monies now, because you know that you have to do it some way. But here's the further problem. After 20-something years, you say you're not paying the interest and they could take you back to court to be in court for another 20-something years. I mean, this is wicked, evil, nasty, stinking government that you have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the only thing you could describe them is those adjectives, because that's what they are. So I understand the anger in which Zion I write sometimes, but if you would only take a little time to rephrase to have the same impact, then, you know, we don't have to worry about playing it on the air, because the verses is what I have problem with, not the chorus. The chorus, the verses. I am uncomfortable with it. That's my contribution.
And I understand Dougie
All right.
is
Stick up in there. Oh, hold a second. We got somebody on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
You hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah,
good
go
afternoon.
ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. First, I want to congratulate you guys for your program. I'm in the US and I do tuning. Somebody told me about the nice radio, so I tune in to get up to date with what's going on back home, because I'm a Vincentian 100%. I'm a US citizen, but I never give up my citizenship in St. Vincent. And over the past 10 years or so, plus or minus, I was coming back home in Fort, because I'm planning to move back, purchase home back there, and so on and so forth. Now, I want to say, in an overview from whatever being discussed so far, I want each and every one of you to realize how this is a very complicated situation we're dealing with. Any one of the topics that you have mentioned. I used to be a Calypsonian. I was one of the founding person who started the Calypso, the St. Vincent Calypso Association myself. And vibrating cakes back in the day. So I understand calypso tremendously. I don't know the language that the guy used, but if he said politically, that's fine. Anybody who knows the English language should understand that. But as the gentleman speak earlier on, he didn't say politically in the first place. And given the violence that's going on, we cannot, support such thing. Next, I don't know if
No,
you
no,
guys.
let me correct you there. In his chorus line, he said politically. Is it in verses that he didn't say it?
Oh well, that even make it worse. So we have problems. So it's a problem. It's an issue. You cannot speak like that, like the gentleman said regarding the amount of violence they were dealing with. When I was in St. Vincent, the manage had similar problems, not in the sense of his language, but they would not play his song on the radio. He said they're gonna ban it, and that actually did. Every one of his songs they banned it because he was a social commentator and he was hitting them like real hard. And contrary to track, that's where Eric Williams will implement some of the things track. Let's talk about, in our case, in St. Vincent, they will try to destroy you. And as one of the gentlemen spoke of somebody who have had these issues where he lost everything. And that's what socialist slash communist people do. They would destroy the opposition. So that's why I'm very concerned because, oh God, help us. Because given the situation, I know the last election that the opposition got more votes than the current party, but that's not how we go. We go by how many seats the next party win. So I'm hoping that they have some strategy in place to keep track real close of what's going on because we are truly under a dictatorship. And when I'm back, when I was home and anybody says certain things about certain people, they look over their shoulder and I'm saying, why are you looking over your shoulder? You want to make sure that nobody's in earshot of our conversation. And I felt real uncomfortable with that. Then we have the farmers, and there's so much other things that's going on. And I gonna end with saying, ask two simple questions because I've been through this. I was abused. I went through trials and tribulation because I was part of the original teacher strike. I lost my job. Myself was the guy from the Leeward who lost his job. And there's a friend of mine, Jardine, Larson Jardine. He was from the Windward side. Both of us was in Teachers College. And we suffered tremendously. But God worked it out on my situation. I don't know what happened to Jardine and the other people who came after. And then now with the job, we see what's going on. That's just wicked. Straight up wicked. Because whether you support them or not, we all have intentions and we all have to eat. So here's the two questions. And I want you guys listen to me real carefully here. Just think about the discussion that you are just having with just one little calypso song. Just think about that. And now we have to address wider issues and problems. So I always ask myself these two questions after I went through the tribulation in St. Vincent when I came to the United States. I have another kind of tribulation in fighting with the tax system. And I've come to resolve all of them. So here's the first question. Very simple. So what? And then the next question was even more important. What are we going to do about it? In other words, how are we going to resolve it? So we need to spend a lot of our time trying to figure out solutions or ways how we could counteract that which the enemy or the devil is promoting. Because this thing is devilish. Whatever is going on in St. Vincent is devilish. Nobody can explain to me why somebody going to slit the throat of a baby. You can't explain to me why you're going to cut up somebody in pieces and put them in bags. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's devilish. So we have to come seriously to the table with solutions. Let's agree to disagree and let's find solution to take these people out. Politically, we have to remove them. I want to see the back of these people, as what one of my brothers said earlier on. Too bad. And we have to do that. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity, and I'm going to keep on listening. But again, let's get together. Remember back in the day, we used to meet at the, well, I don't know if you could use the University Center in across from the park there. We used to meet there as a youth group and come up with strategies to deal with issues that we were dealing back in the days with K2 and the government or what have you. I don't know if you guys could do that still, or if they would shut you down, or if there's a place you could go. But we have to come together, and the main goal has to be, what are we going to do about this? We could complain all day. I could give you a lot of complaints because on our prayer group, I hear a lot of different situations, and I'm in the prayer session, and that's what I focus on the prayer, and make sure I get my life as close as possible with my God so that he would not laugh after my calamity. Like one brother said, talk about the 23rd Psalms. It's only applicable if you're living right and walk upright before God. Otherwise, he'd laugh after your calamity. So I'm just
So tell me
praying.
something. Tell me something before you go. You say you're added listener of this particular program?
Yeah, I come on every now and then, yes.
And you're telling me that you don't hear we offering solutions? Are you saying that?
No. I didn't say I don't hear you are offering solutions.
Okay.
I'm saying there is a lot of in other words, complaints have dominated the airwaves most of the times when I get a chance to listen. I'm not saying you're not offering solutions. I'm saying what we need to do, we had to spend some time on getting into solutions.
Caller,
Workable solutions.
One of the solutions that was suggested this morning is that we not be followers. Right? While this calypso is a reflection, because this calypso is a reflection of a statement that was made by Camilo Gonzalez. Let's take that as evidence, as we do not follow stupid behavior. We do not follow stupid behavior and be just as stupid as them, because the stupidity affects the entire country. Solution.
Yeah, that's true 100%. But the other thing that, and somebody was speaking earlier on regarding what's going on with people who keep following, the party in power, or the over 600 people who lost their job because they didn't take the job. One of the things that we have to realize, fear is a very powerful factor that's going on.
Which is why I am the one that mentioned the 23rd Psalm. Which is why because the state of mind you have to be, the state of mind that you have to be in to follow the 23rd Psalm. If you apply that in a lot of ways to the wrong decisions that you could be making, it makes for better you, it makes for a better nation, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. I'm not disputing the scriptures. That's why I really hold on to. When all things fail, that's where I go to. But what the only point I was making is that the way how the scriptures become effective is the way in which we live. And if we talk about the armor of God and whatever, he talks about righteousness, and the Bible talks about he laughing about our own calamity, meaning that if you're not for him, and we have examples with Joshua when they were losing the war, and he started praying and God said, get up, there's sin in the camp. There's so much examples, but I don't want to get too much into that. I want to get back to what we're talking about here. So again, I love your program. Keep it going. I have distributed the app to a few people, anybody who Vincent who want to know more and what have you, because we need to get more minds together.
Yep.
So that when the minds come together and when we respect one another, and that's why one of the reasons why I like your show, because people come on with different opinions and what have you. So I really enjoy that.
All right.
Because we have to
don't forget to send
it out.
Don't forget to send your financial contributions to our
That's not a joke.
Yeah, 784-491-9140. You know?
Yeah.
And yes, thank you.
Say that again. What's that?
784.
What's that number?
784-491-9140.
784-491
9140.
9140. That's your personal number?
Yes, that's my personal number. Yes.
What's your name?
Carlisle Douglas.
Kushwed.
This is the same Carl Douglas?
Yeah, it's the same Carl Douglas.
From grammar school.
This is somebody that I know. You want to give me a hint as to who you are?
Do that when you call your Carlisle.
My name on the radio, but But you're called Douglas. You related to Cheryl?
Yes, Cheryl.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God! I'm not gonna say who I am when I call you, but I'm not gonna say who I am on the radio.
Okay.
I have reasons.
All right.
But I know I know exactly who you are.
Okay.
So that's awesome.
All right.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
No problem in
Are
supporting you. But
are you kind of almost family kind of thing? I don't know. I was when you said when you mentioned vibrating cakes, my eyebrow kind of raised up, and I thought I might have known who was calling, but the voice don't quite sound like who I think it is. Are you and I like almost
you
family
get it
kind of
right.
thing?
Don't say my name, please. But you get it right. You
Oh,
get it
okay,
right. Don't
great,
say
great,
my
great.
name.
All right, cool. All right,
Because
man.
I'm gonna come back on hard hitting. But I don't say my name.
All right,
It's
okay,
okay.
cool.
But I'll reach out to you. I'll support you financially. That's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all.
Thanks a million.
I love what you guys are doing. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and you can come that and take that to the bank.
And you will be the first. You will be the first one because I never made an appeal like that before. I just got a whim to do it, so you'll be the first one. And we're gonna
well, let me remind you so that you know who it is. You remember somebody who supported you when you were running a truck business?
Yeah.
US
I
of A?
got it.
Didn't that person support you
We have
and help you
history.
get the truck?
We have history. Yeah, man. Yes.
Okay, so you know who it is. So I don't just talk. I back my mouth with money. I don't just talk.
I like that.
Money. As a matter of fact, I talk about you when I was making an example to somebody some time ago.
I hear you. All right, Captain. We're gonna catch up.
Thank you.
Anyway, so the bottom line is, so what? We could complain all the night long, but the most importantly is then what? In other words, what are we gonna do about it?
Exactly. What do we do in spite? That's what I took that premise. I took that premise a couple of years ago, especially with my contributions with Bigger Bigs. It's all well and good to say of the problems, like you said, but it's what we can do in spite of. I wanted to discuss. It's what we can do in spite of the problems. It's part of, so we.
But Carla, I find myself on this program as one who offers solutions. If you listen to me, I always have a solution to going forward. I always try to propose a solution, regardless of what we're dealing with. Like, for example, I am still amazed when Francois shared about those 10 students who are simply marginalized, and you are telling me they are banned from a particular program relative to what happened in school, where they were unattended, where a teacher is being paid to monitor these students, and he or she was not in any way. Well, I don't know if he or she was punished in any other way, but I am thinking that's the solution to this particular problem. These parents, along with these children, need to go to the Ministry of Education and offer protest to say exactly what went wrong here. Something is definitely wrong here.
Graduated, and like somebody mentioned earlier on, if it's in the United States and that happened, that person is fired.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I used to be a teacher, so I know what I'm talking about. You can't leave your classroom. Two things you can't do, You can't go into class and don't have a lesson plan.
But you have to ask yourself the question. Suppose one of those students was stabbed. Who was culpable?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So then the other thing that, as you mentioned, that you always offer solution, and here's the next challenge. Have you ever followed up regarding the implementation of the solution you suggested?
Well, the thing is, where I am, all I can do is voice. I'm just like you. All I can do is voice at this particular moment. And I'm raising awareness to this particular program. That's all I can do, just like you.
The thing is,
I'm voicing because I'm in the now, and I'll be in St. Vincent later this year. I'm not going to say what time, and I want to do some follow up and not just on the voice. I want to actually do something. Like I said, I was one of the guys who got fired in the teacher strike because I don't just talk. I confronted Ketu in my village during that time, And I think that's one of the reasons why they point me out, because I'm an action person. I don't do like talk. Talk is cheap. Anybody can talk. Okay?
Yep.
Talk is
Caller,
cheap, very cheap and easy.
I wanna mention something to you also, right? In terms of following up. Remember in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are faced with a bureaucracy that is willfully uncooperative. We even had.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I start out from said in the beginning. I said this situation is very complicated. There's a reason why I said that. Trust me, it's a loaded statement. And I said this situation, meaning any situation that you're speaking of this morning and before, it is very complicated.
Yep.
It is. It is. And if you were listening earlier, and you would when I said that Zion, I especially a song last year, you know, expresses the thoughts about, you know, of a lot of intentions, but some of those sometimes the way he put these thoughts across, especially with this year's calypso, especially with the verses of this year's calypso, leaves a little hint of going to the extreme, especially with our crimes, with the crime situation that we're having here. Okay, it's true. It is true that the verse supports the chorus, but then when you get when the verses can get so solidified, so explicit, wherein that it could take it can take on a characteristics of its it could take on characteristics of its own, then that would become, at least for where I am concerned, would presents a problem.
Well, you know, Calypsonians have always been known to push the boundaries sometimes. You know, I
Yes,
mean,
you
we
know,
have calypsos like Forkapole and Beaches and all of
yes,
that. Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the fact that the topic of the calypso was based on this song clip.
NDP will have to suffer. Politically, NDP will have to die. Don't ask me why.
I'm saying that's an asinine statement.
Yep.
That we should not allow it to reverberate and become a norm.
Yep.
Okay, silence. Oh, wow.
No, but Kaya, you can't say it's an asinine statement.
Wait. Everybody talking at the same time. 1 second. Who going? Oh, let me hear. I heard about Carla.
You can't say that's an asinine statement. That's a purpose statement, a purposeful statement.
It's an asinine statement.
No, that is the man's intention. That is what they wanted to do.
But then his intentions is asinine.
Okay, but it's still intentional. It is still intentional.
But it is asinine. It is asinine.
Listen, Carlisle.
Yeah.
The Calypsonian,
Mm.
one who speaks for the social commentaries, people who is afraid to speak. It has always been that way. In days of slavery, it come out of the slavery of slavery, and you will send your messages to Calypso, to the social commentary. Ain't gonna change, and we gotta get used to it, because when you have social comment cannot be played, pick and choose.
Doug,
What
you're chopping up. Your voice is chopping up. I'm hearing some parts and not hearing some parts, you know, and it's sounding too profound to.
You hearing me now?
I'm hearing you now. Yeah, go ahead. Let me try again.
Okay. What I'm saying is that the
try turning off your video, Don. That might be the problem. Try turning off your just mute your camera. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. There you know. Yeah.
It is the social commentary for and the heart of the people, and it has always been like that. And what I know is that they always push the button to the most cases, and even in St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now, most of the calypsos in St. Vincent and Grenadines will never on the national radio station NBC Radio. It would never be played. And that is another tragedy of unequal rights in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Look how
A travesty. That's a real.
Look how wicked these people. The Democratic Party under Sir James Mitchell had all kind of pro anybody on the national radio station, and the national radio 3 years has not given a say to the New Democratic Party, who controls the majority of votes in St. Vincent and Grenadines up to today. And that is because of tutorial position held by the ruling party. And all of this we got to see as injustice, brothers.
Now you see how this thing, how much of a communication problem that we have in here. I'm sure the words that he used was dictatorial, but all we heard was tutorial. You see?
let me go out.
You're dropping them. I go then come back.
Okay.
In the meantime, we have somebody on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're live on Nice Radio.
Yes, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon. Hey. Good afternoon.
You know, I listen to a couple of callers commentating on Zionai's song. And they each said something that, let me ask first. You guys, have you listened to the song in the entirety?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I did.
I
did. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Nope.
Okay, you should. You listen to Zionai's song. You know what I realized in St. Vincent? We don't have a fighting spirit, and we're not brave and we're not bold. And that's why a lot of things make us feel so uncomfortable. I realized that. I listened to the song, because my friend Ahmad had it. Find it anywhere. So if you have not heard it, you can go to Ahmad page and you will see the song. Okay, I listened to the song and Dougie corrected a guy who was making commentary about the song being a past person in Calypso, but didn't listen to the song to properly critique the song, which I think is unfair to Zionai. And I know what's happened about that song. It makes you feel uncomfortable. You may think something, but it's hard to say it out loud. Hence the reason why the billboard also is so effective this time. We're calling for NDP to do more, myself, to do this, to do that. But when they do something provocative, it irks a lot of us. I'm saying us, to make it collective from what's going on. Because it's not something you're accustomed to. But this is not Zionai force merry-go-round. And Zionai is a very effective communicator of what he wants to say. And we give him credit for that. Dougie corrected someone by saying he didn't say politically at the beginning of the song. It was done after each verse of the song. Wouldn't that make a difference? Even if we feel uncomfortable with the chopping off the hand, if he says that and then says politically, why is that still such a problem? Because we are uncomfortable with things like that. We want to fight.
Michelle,
yes,
for what
yes,
it's worth, when the chopping off of the hands and the head was mentioned, it didn't say chop off the hand and the head politically.
Right.
The politically
was in the verse.
In the
chorus.
All that. After he said that in the verses of his song, the other part, what you call the other part?
The chorus.
Yes.
The chorus.
Mhm.
It just slipped me.
Which is
The
why
chorus,
Dougie
the
was
chorus
saying
said that.
Dougie was saying that is the verses that has
Yes,
Yes.
but
the
after the
problem.
Yeah.
verses, the chorus proceeded, and the
Huh?
chorus said what the verses, what the verses meant. Well, you know what? That's my opinion, and
Mm.
that's
Yeah,
how I
but
look at
you see, my opinion is not because Camelo wants to be a JA that we all have to be JAs.
You know,
You
Carl,
understand?
I have not thought of if let me tell you something. I
Mm.
glad for all age. It makes me forget a lot of things. If you don't bring up Camelo and what he said, it really doesn't. I don't remember it.
Well,
Truly, because you
I
know
think
what,
a big part
you
of
know
it.
what?
I think part of it, I think the entire song was based on
I know
what
that
come.
that is where
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Well,
reaction.
that's not what I'm saying it now.
Mm.
After I heard the song and realized what he was doing, playing
Mm.
upon
Mm-hmm.
what the person had said,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think, Carlisle, we are not as brave,
Mm.
and what we want, people just have to fight different ways to get messages across. But we are not bold and brave enough. That is just how I think.
You see,
I appreciate.
bold and brave and pretending that we don't have a murder problem in our society could be
But
two different things.
Carlisle,
No.
Wait,
See,
wait, wait, wait.
Michelle,
no. Hold on.
Michelle. In as much as we have a political, we have our political desires. In as much as we have our political preferences, in as much as we have problems in our societies, we don't take the problems of that we have with the society and expound on them
But Carlisle,
and make them part of our society, not expound on them, make them part
Carlisle,
of our society, make them
Hi.
part of our norm.
it's a
Hi.
calypso.
It is a
It is
calypso.
not telling you to
Hi.
go and do that.
It
Just
is a
like the
calypso.
Hi.
billboard that we had.
Hi, Michelle.
It's satire. Isn't that what calypsonians do?
It is
I
a
don't
Mich-
understand it.
it is a calypso.
Michelle.
It is a
Michelle.
Yes,
This
yes.
is Mac. I first of all, I love you to death, but I'm going to disagree with you here because
I
here in
know.
the
I
United
got
States,
your position
here,
already. I got your
here,
position.
here,
I just,
well, here
I
in the
just,
United States,
I
we
just
have a phrase.
calypso and
Yeah, but no. Here in the United States, we have a phrase called trying to make our country here in the United States a more perfect union. Now let's transpose that to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are all endeavoring to make St. Vincent and the Grenadines a more perfect society. So we have to critique things when it's necessary. We have to support things when they are necessary. I do understand
I
the
just want to
premise, as I
disagree
said
with you guys
before,
this morning. That's
of
all. Nothing more than my side.
yeah, I do understand the premise of Zionist Calypso. I think he's very talented, he's very outspoken, and I admire him. But I think in some ways the Calypso is a bridge. Is in some of the things that he said in the Calypso, it's a bridge too far for me. At least that's my opinion.
Let me
And
tell you.
Michelle,
Let me go
Michelle,
another way.
Michelle. When
Yes,
you say that we are afraid, you need to address that statement with a little bit more conscience and a little bit more condition.
I think it's mostly me she talking about with that.
No,
When
no,
you
no,
hear
I
when
don't.
you hear when you hear about Iman Scrub, Iman Scrub was victimized. And not just
yes,
victimized, but his entire life was disrupted and
life.
thrown into mayhem.
Yep.
And let me
Marcus the
tell you, this
Freitas,
country
Marcus
ought
the
to
Freitas.
same thing, and the same thing with Adriana King.
Yep.
And
We see what
well,
happened
Yep.
with
I'm going to
Adriana
call
King.
all that car like the
let me tell you
506,
something, guys.
the
Let's all
600 and
understand
something
it.
persons.
The benefits in this country takes you into your time when you retire. When you see you lose your benefits in this country, you got to start over and it carries you way back. What was done to Ahmad? Look, I in this country and I know, and Ahmad had to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
so
it
I
ain't just
know
Ahmad.
what
It ain't
God is
just
talking
Ahmad.
about.
It ain't just saying mad at all. What about big?
650 civil servants who were
Yep.
dismissed for not taking an injection. They are still suffering today and they don't
And
know what
Francois is one
tomorrow
of
will
them.
bring because this prime
Francois
minister
is
is
one
going
of
to
them.
take this matter to the Privy Council. I know he's going to,
And
and
what
even though
and
he
what happened?
loses,
How much of them are talking about it?
no, but wait, no, but No, you're.
Well,
I was
Francois comes on and he talks about it,
No,
at
but I
least.
was responding to you, Michelle, in relation to fear. Fear is a real thing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a real thing. It's a bread and butter matter.
I understand. Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say something before I go because I promised myself to talk about this anytime I call. You know, and it comes to my point initially about things that make us uncomfortable, in my view, and that's why more is not spoken on it. And it's I don't know how prevalent it is, but from things that I read in the newspaper, it has raised its head, and a lot of people are not speaking about it. And it's about the fathers who seems to continually go with their children. I read the newspapers.
So when
A
you say go,
lot
what you
of
mean?
people are
Please explain.
reading.
You mean
Don't
go to school with them?
You mean go to school with them?
No, don't be too biblical, Michelle. Say it for what it is.
No. There are a lot of
It's called
cases in
incense.
They
court
molest them.
since
Yes.
They're
They
sexually
sexually
abusing the
molest
children.
them. Yes.
sexually abusing their girl
Yep.
children. There's
Yep.
another one
Some
I
of them
read.
abuse
This
the
one
boy
is even
children too.
worse than the one before.
Mm.
And we need to talk about it. Somehow, I know it's been going on forever, but there's everybody now. Oh, we have social media now, so more things are coming out. Fine. Since we have social media now and it's coming out, let's talk about it. It's a problem in St. Vincent, guys. The newspapers are there. We read the newspapers. I see different shows quoting things from newspapers, and they're not quoting these things that are happening that is going through the court. You could imagine something happened since 2009. A child was 7, 5, and 3 at the time. They have to relive that now.
Yep.
And you
At
see,
this point.
and you see, and that's a big part of what I of the point, the entire point that I'm trying to make this morning. Now, for the longest while, and it's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. For the longest while, anytime you mention rape in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, somebody assume that somebody would assume that you're being political. So
Yep.
as opposed to addressing the problems of rape, you have to be defensive politically, and because of that, the problem was left to fester. I am saying that whoever arranged that, whoever orchestrated that, whoever is responsible for that mindset here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not have St. Vincent and the Grenadines in mind. And we should have that person be responsible for that part of the mindset of Vincentians that continues to perpetrate the problem in the worst way.
Part of the conditioning.
Yeah, part of the conditioning where fathers are giving reassured kiss to their children at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, this is something that is
Yes.
happening in St. Vincent, guys, and it's really, you could imagine the kind of damage those girls.
But Michelle, this
Yes,
is it. This is endemic, you know. This has been happening since I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
And
That's
this
what I said
continues.
before,
I agree with you. It needs to be stopped, but it has been happening for quite a while.
I don't remember it being so prevalent because you and I were little boys at the same time. I don't remember it being that prevalent.
Okay, we were not aware. No, not you. We were not aware, but it was happening when we were little children.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to wear because
I mean, with the advent of social media, it's become more reported. It's become more out there. You know.
And
guys,
in the
one last thing before I go.
last 23 years, in the last 23 years, the society is following the leader. Say it for what it is. When they point to them, they point to the leader.
A lot of the problems that we have in society can go right back there. Yes, can go right back there. Yeah.
And we have is being totally has been obsessed. Hold on, being obsessed with the with the Prime Minister. Let us not be in that category. Them say obsessed with the Prime Minister. But before I go, let me just say this. How much discussion you think we should have with the last statement? Although I always think once a discussion is going a particular way, the man we have there comes up with something else to change the whole discourse of the discussion. But how much discussion you think we should have with the last statement about having more children in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? I really, I think I'm more interested in listening or take on it as an educator. And then Mark, take on
But
it.
first of all, Michelle, first of all,
really don't have no time.
but you have to recognize that we are a dying country.
Yes.
Our children are migrating.
Riley had read an article saying that same thing.
And yeah, our children are migrating. Our children
Yeah.
are migrating. Carly's child and my child, they are migrating. In other words, we don't have any continuation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our heritage
Yeah, I was
is
there
being
and I
cut off.
bring mine here. I didn't leave them. And it's a fact. There's nothing there.
But Michelle, you know,
unless
to your
I'm not coming back there.
to your question, right? Ralph is suggesting that we should have more children. But then there is a follow-up question, which I think is even more fundamental. Is our Vincentian society and economy prepared to withstand or to deal with us having more children? I mean, if you have,
you
as
start
George
with
said,
extreme poverty.
mass migration, right? Exactly. You have mass migration. There's a reason behind this brain drain or mass migration. It's the sad state of the economy in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And now he's coming up with
So
this
then why
whole
would he
idea.
make that kind of statement? If you think he knows that, why would he make that statement?
Well, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think
looking for votes.
I have my own.
He looking for votes.
No, but who is going to make
Doug,
children?
is
Michelle going home to make a child? Is Michelle
Exactly.
he's calling and Michelle to come back home and make a child? Because
But
if our children are migrating, who the hell going to be making children? Who?
We have 48. We have almost 5,000 people on poor relief, right? There's a reason for that. There is a reason for that, and the amount of people. I mean, I remember back in the days when they used to have the road cleaning program. It's mostly the an older set of people who used to be there. You know, maybe retirees or mothers. But there's a whole bunch of young people who graduated from college, are competing for this road work, and they're still in school. So are these the people who you expect to have the children?
Let me just say this. When last have you guys looked at the statistics on new cases of AIDS in St. Vincent and the age group? When last have you seen it?
That's a good question.
Well,
I haven't for a
Michelle,
long
you're
time,
asking
but
a politically incorrect question because I need to see the census. So long we are waiting this census, I need to see the census, please.
Well, I got this from the Department of Health in St. Vincent. I think it was a couple months ago. The ages were, oh gosh, what were they? I think it was between 20 something and 30 something, and the cases were rising. And for me, that's the age where you have kids. That's a more productive breeding age, the age that they're talking about. But a lot of the young people are suffering from the new cases that are cropping up is the younger people. And there's a bigger problem there. There is so much to be discussed with this here.
I think
I
the
don't
big
even want us to go too much even political. I'm just socially. There's so much to be discussed. People still are on the streets with the children begging in the daytime, from what I'm hearing on the radio. There is so much to be discussed about this, and I just thought at the time it was said, it was to deflect us from what was trending at the particular time. Because he
I
knows
thought about that too.
talking is foolishness. He know that it's foolishness what he's talking about. It may not be foolishness to us because, like Odd said, we know we have a dying population. We know that. But the way he said it so casually, I know it was just he himself didn't even believe what he was saying. guys.
But Michelle, in addition to that, what about his statement? You want roads? I'm going to give you roads. What about that one?
Oh boy! But before we jump,
All right, guys.
Doctor Lee,
Yeah,
Doctor
enjoy
Leacock
All
your
is
right.
evening.
here.
Take
Doctor
care.
Leacock, good afternoon.
Dr. Leacock is there. Hi, Dr.
Doctor Leacock,
Leacock.
good afternoon. How you doing?
All right, guys.
Hi, Doc.
All
Yeah,
right.
good
Take care, Michelle.
afternoon.
All right,
Yes,
Michelle.
All right.
Sorry,
yes, yes.
guys. Yeah, I've been
All right,
listening to the conversation because I was driving and I don't want to take the chance of doing
Mm.
both. Um, the whole population thing is not just St. Vincent affected, by the way. I live in Scotland, and Scotland have a declining population because it has problems with employment and the young people are moving towards England. And so they would like to invite a lot of young people to come to Scotland. But then
Mm.
immigration is not a devolved issue, so they have to
So
rely
so
on.
then so then is a confidence issue with Scotland too. What you saying? That's what you're saying? Hmm?
No, I'm not saying that. Japan
Mm.
has a problem with the dwindling population
Oh,
and a growing
yes. I
elderly
saw that
population.
recently. Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
so it's not just St. Vincent. But I think the important thing that the Prime Minister should ask himself is we have a declining population because our young people are migrating.
Hmm.
And they're migrating heavily because the socioeconomic position and their prospects are very poor.
Yeah,
And
like
I think
I hear him making thing about Canadian about Canadian. Let me ask.
Mhm.
I want to ask him if the amount of the amount of intentions,
Mhm.
who would jump, who would jump
Yeah,
at being a citizen anywhere else compared
yeah.
Yep.
to citizen based on how you have this
But
country.
that's a non-entity
Isn't that going to
argument
shock you?
anyway.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Mm.
so
Some of them will check the
that's
belly
just
and
my
make
take
vote.
on that,
Yeah.
Just
Mm.
right? Um, with the whole population issue. But to me, to be honest, the most salient thing, and I think is how he come up with these detractors, and we get sidelined and move off of the mainstream and get distracted with the thing. So to me, the population issue was worth a sentence or two and then close it down because of
Mm.
other more important things, pressing things to discuss, and we keep getting sidetracked. And it seems to be a mass of this. Throw in a span in the works, and we get caught out with it and get sidetracked from the main issue.
And Carlisle,
Um,
before we come on the program next week, can you try to investigate exactly? This sentence has been going on for the last 2 years. When are we going to have the results?
Yeah, I was wondering where the Prime Minister got the statistics that he's quoting there in that statement in terms of the suggesting that more children be made be
It's
had and all that stuff. So
no,
I
but it
could
has fallen.
I
There's
have the blessings of my father's features
mhm,
and the pronunciation, the voice
mhm.
that tells everybody that when I open my mouth, it's Carlisle Douglas from Nice Radio. I
No,
want to
but
tell you that in a lot of ways, that
mhm.
presents a defense mechanism that
mm,
that would have information available to everybody, not
Yeah, but
necessarily content.
there's been a
Yeah.
steady decline in the population anyway. If you listen,
Mm.
right.
the maternity department puts on an annual perinatal mortality review, and they would give you the birth statistics, and it has been declining steadily. I think we are down to about 1,200 a year, something like that now. So we are definitely, the population is
Doc,
becoming
what
small.
about infant mortality? Where are you with that?
I don't have the most recent statistics, but I don't.
Okay.
We might be slightly better off, in terms of infants' deaths. Or we have the world pediatric problem, I think, which has come in, and I think WHO has had a hand in trying to get the obstetricians to intervene more often and so forth. So I think our mortality rate might be coming down as well, the infant mortality rate.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Bearing in mind the mortality in the country seemed to have increased, by the way. When I listen to the death announcement,
Yeah.
this is just anecdotal, you know. In the old days, you say 2 or 3 people die. Now it's like 40, 50. The death announcements goes on
Yeah.
and on and on and on and
Yeah.
so forth. And some of that is related to stress and poor lifestyles,
Hmm.
and habits and so forth. So just before, I wanted to talk quickly, and I'll just take 2 seconds to talk today about, and I won't be extensive, about bladder care. Um,
Boy, we ain't have much time in it, but go ahead.
just 2 seconds, right? Because it's
Yeah.
one of the things that we tend not to pay
Two
attention
minutes.
to, right? Your bladder basically have a capacity about 500 mils, and when it reaches about 300, you start having a sensation to pee, and you can have voluntary control of your bladder, but the whole issue is that you really should be urinating by about 6 to 7 times a day. And we have this habit, and probably it's because we don't have a lot of toilet facilities in around where people could pop in and empty the, like, people hold on to the urine. And it's something that you shouldn't do, because then what you do is stretch your bladder, and the bladder loses its control, and you end up with a neurogenic type bladder. Secondly, if you are somebody who's wet in your bed, in other words, you don't have control of your bladder, and we know we have Pampers these days, very good, yeah, but you need to use something, an emollient, to protect the skin for people who are wearing these things, because one of the things is urine is very, very, very um abrasive, and before you know it, you have skin breakdown, and then it lead into infection and this stuff that we talked about last week. So women, it's far easier for them to have infections in their bladder than men, so they have to be particularly careful in terms of their hygiene, and when they wipe themselves, making sure they wipe themselves from front to back rather than back to front. um and men, of course, who are still very prolific in sharing out their goods, have to be careful of STIs, which may cause strictures, and strictures may lead to them not being able to pass urine. And because they can't pass urine, it end up affecting their bladder. So I've just praised most of what I ought to say in a nutshell, and that's what I wanted to speak about today. It's really, really important. I know I had a friend many years ago who didn't pass urine for a whole day, and they need to and didn't think, well, something is wrong. You should be going to the toilet about every 3 hours or so to pee, and it
Mm,
must look clear. It can't look concentrated and dark. If it look concentrated dark, it means you're not hydrating enough. And we are in a tropical
mm,
country. We need to drink more as
mm,
often as we can. So when you go, your pee must be clear. It mustn't look dark at all, right?
mm.
And I'm gonna stop there. And back to the interesting conversation you had today.
All
Thank you,
right.
Doc. Thank
Somebody on
you.
WhatsApp says, my take on the whole Sinai conversation is that you can't make omelet without breaking a few eggs. um,
Well, yeah,
Next
I
one.
hear that.
Good afternoon to the panelists. The only thing wrong with Sinai's song is that it didn't have Camilo voice in it, and the intro Camilo was his, I can't say NDP must dead politically. Um, Next one says, "Good morning, Carlisle and Bigger Bigs. All the OAC leaders and the wider Caribbean have a recording when Ralph saying he would pay somebody to. Oh Lord, me and nobody one day. I'm gonna leave
Mm,
that.
mm,
Next one says, "Good day all. When Poster sang Mountain in Mama, he was chastised. He even mentioned Campbell on stage, and I
Campbell soup.
don't causing a lot of fear, and that's what the ruling party seeks to do." Zion, I don't cause a lot of fear. Well, I'm just reading what is
Mm,
there. Yes, and WhatsApp. Uh, Somebody says Barbados PM wasting was was the same thing. Barbados PM wasn't the same thing. Something then, but Beijing isn't batting with her. Doug agreed with Mikey. Um, Somebody said, so when Ralph victimized people who oppose him politically for the past 2 decades, isn't he in effect killing them? All right. And what it all boils down to is do so not like so. Next body says the biggest glorification of violence in our society is in our movie theaters. Well, you see, then movies are escapism. Uh,
video games.
is not
It's
the
the
real
same thing.
world. Yes,
Yeah.
get rid of them could be as get rid of them could be interpreted as kill them, Doug Howard King. You're right. Somebody says Black Stalin sing Abona Bonin. Calypso was never meant to be politically correct. What about the son born them by Black Stalin? And yes, and
Yeah.
that
But
is
coming in here, could I just chip in here a little bit?
Hey,
yeah.
Francois. Yes.
Like,
Next time, I gonna have to send me your WhatsApp number so I could because
right,
yeah
yeah, I was
because
You could
checking
comment
that.
on the stream.
and
Yeah.
yeah that
Right,
way
yeah,
you holding up the holding up the
Yeah.
yeah,
room.
I realize that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was saying is that like sometimes I find interesting. I mean, sometimes I hear comments. We have sayings, for example, like all the time we hear about grabbing the bulls by the horns or fighting fire with fire and so on. I was thinking about bigger bigs and listening to him this morning. I was wondering to myself, I wonder what bigger thinking right now, listening to this conversation with Zenai. Because basically it was a similar thing that he was alluding to, that sometimes we like to, play the fraidy cat kind of thing and back away. Sometimes once you're not crossing the line, sometimes people say it's borderline. But my thing is, as long as you're not crossing the line, there are times where you just have to express yourself a certain way. Like take for example, a similar situation. We have a legal system. We talk about it all the time, which is supposed to be.
You can't make it too long, because I run out of time.
I realize. Or redress. This is where we go for some redress when you're not being dealt with fairly. But we have a system now. Everybody complaining that system they rigged too. So you see the kind of frustration that's building in people. People do wrong, and then when you go there for your redress, then you get more wrong again. So when sometimes all you're left with is this thing to be able to express yourself using words as your weapon, and as long as you don't be libelous and so on, I am for it, But I would like you maybe when you get a little chance before you leave to play Scotcha, the Legend of Soca. You could probably run down before you leave the station,
I doubt we have that time. I doubt we have that time.
But it is what it is, But it's just really messed up that it has to come to this where people feel so pressed. And then there's another part of it where even when you try to express yourself, you feel like you're being stifled too. Partying for 23 years, they do all like almost everything that's bad they would have done. And sometimes people beat up on the people who are responding to that more than the people who are doing the wrong. And that's sometimes where I have a little issue, Yeah.
Doug Howard, wrap up for me.
Thank you, Francois.
No problem. I got a number, Max, so but I didn't have time to link you sometime. Yeah.
All right. Bless up.
In the essence of time, see you next week. Have a good day.
Valentine.
But I hope what Francois indicated to those 10 students, I hope that we have all of the facts. And if we do, and I'm assuming that we do, I'm assuming that Francois as a teacher would have investigated and would have determined this particular situation. Who is the voice for these 10 children? They're acting like normal children. That's how children will behave unsupervised. That's why we recommend that children be supervised on most occasions, especially when they are congregated. This is something that I have known from since I was a little child. When you have children going to a picnic, you want to avoid any deaths, so you always have them supervised. Children attending school, okay, CPA is over. The parents have entrusted their safety to that teacher and the principal. So you are directly responsible for those children at school. Now, they were unsupervised for a little while, and you're telling me you're punishing them because they were unsupervised? Come on, man. If this is true, then that matter needs to be resolved amicably. And punishing the students in that way does not fit the crime. They were in school, they were misbehaving. How could we debarring them from their own graduation be a just recompense for what they did? Come on, principal. Come on, teachers. Where is the voice for these 10 students? These 10 students need to be heard and they need to be recognized. And if it is your jurisdiction to decide, I am going to punish them, do not punish them at graduation. Graduation had nothing to do with their unsupervised behavior in the classroom. And if they were behaving like this in the classroom, their classroom was on Mount Everest, or was it in a school compound? No one heard them. Something is more in the water than in the pistol. Please, we need to have the voice of these children heard by this principal, and that principal need to address that matter with a different outcome altogether.
How would you handle that? How would you handle that? As a matter of fact, as to making it a deterrent. How would you handle that, Rod?
Well, first of all, Carl, no, this is a school day. This is my point. This is a school day. There is somebody assigned to that particular class.
There should be, yeah.
You're telling me for the whole day, whatever, because this didn't take 2 minutes. This didn't take 10 minutes. This took a planning, a videotaping. This was an orchestrated event, and it took a long time.
All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. I gotta call and make it quick.
I'll make it quick. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, good
I
afternoon.
Good
agree with
afternoon.
all is saying. Sometimes the children learn what from the environment, so maybe they think this is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So you shouldn't punish them in that. You have to speak to them, and then that is a very good time to tell them this is not the norm. You should not be doing. 'Cause everything now is going viral. Everything is video, and it allows me to
Yep.
get the hair and the fan. So I agree to what is saying. Come on, don't punish them in that way. That is the right time to speak to them to say this is not the way to do it, and you tell them what is right and what is wrong. Because some of them don't know better. They don't know country environment they're coming from. Thank you, gentlemen. Continue. Very good program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make it a teachable moment. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Mark.
Well, in social science, there is a term called the banality of evil, and it just means the commonplace of evil. And what it means is evil has become so prevalent that we have become inured to it. We have become accustomed to it. We just shrug it off as just being another day, another occurrence, And I'm wondering if this is where we are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And maybe evil may be too strong of a word, but we do have the incidences of the banality of corruption, the banality of political malfeasance, the banality of maltreatment of Vincentians at the hands of public officers and so on and so forth. And I'm wondering because we hear these things day after day after day on the radio. People call in and they complain and they give voice to these issues, and nobody, no authority figure seems to be interested, especially for the past 20, 22 years, in bringing real solutions to the people. And so, my appeal to my fellow Vincentians is we should point to a particular position on the horizon of our future to say this is where we want to be, and that place should be a more perfect society. Yes, we got to call out wrong when it's wrong. We have to uplift right when it's right. So let us strive for a more perfect society. I know people have suffered for a very long time, and I know people are frustrated, and I know yes, you do have a right to express your frustration, but let's do it in a way that promotes getting nearer to that more perfect society. Blessings to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. One love, lay you. Lay
Yep.
strong always.
All right. Final caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brother Carlisle.
You can make it real
Good
short.
afternoon.
Can make it real short.
Short.
Yeah.
Brother Carlisle,
Mm.
you know, a lot of people missing something that said from the Prime Minister. The water he used to the ganja portion them, them. When he will pursue those vagabond until they exist no more.
Right.
That word is a
Right.
very dangerous word. Nobody's thinking about
Absolutely.
that.
But that's
I
another.
agree.
That's another. That's
Agree.
another. That's another legacy
I
program.
like telling Zion, change the two issue that making people uncomfortable
Uncomfortable.
take them out.
I hear you. All right.
I will place them in something else and carry on your song.
I hear you.
That's all you have to do.
All right. Cool.
People don't like that area there. Could take out them from there, place them out to something else that wouldn't humbug other people, and you sing your song. Your song will be same hitting song. That's all.
All right.
But when they're talking about what the Prime Minister say about the ganja people too,
I hear you. All right. Take care, man. Cool.
One to say I go.
All right, Sordy, we gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go, Stordy. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. All right.
They will dead.
Blessings on you, my brother.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Ah, Lord. Like I said. One more WhatsApp says, we say there's fear in the country, but it really comes clear with design. Nice sound. Yeah. Lord. Like I said, we have a problem in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And if we're going to fight fire with fire, the whole place is going to burn down. We can't justify fire with fire. And we have to watch the ones who trying to justify fire with fire as foolish, as doted, as stupid, and not follow them. You hear? In a lot of ways, they're clueless. It's clueless, they're clueless. Why the say something in that fashion? And they can't really help themselves. You know? And for we to look at that, and because of their financial prowess, because of their financial dominance, to think that would make that is what makes our society what makes sense in our society. We haven't learned. Take it clear for what it is. And do better because we know better. Present time in St. Grenadines, 11 minutes on to 2 o'clock. Commercial pause.
When all is said and done, Jennifer Shiverton's Wholesale remains the one to be reckoned with. It's the place for the best in mattresses in all sizes, upholstery foam for your cushions and seats in all sizes, all types of pillows, toilet tissue, a long range of soft drinks including Futa, Buster, Orchard, canned and bottled Coca-Cola and Sprite, and Trini Fresh Orange Juice, plus the very best saltfish on the market, all priced to meet your pocket. It's located opposite Greenfinger at Upper Middle Street in Kingstown and opens Mondays to Saturdays, 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. It's the place where quality matters and the price on your side. Jennifer Shiverton's Wholesale. Call 456-2814. That's 456-2814.
Are you ready for the Untold Calypso tent? Yeah, man, we're heading to Russell's Auditorium for the opening on Thursday, May 30th, and for the second show, Thursday, June 6th, and for the preliminaries, Thursday, June 13th. The vibes is big, the energy is big, and of course, the cast is big. Marshy, Mansik, Zion I, Da Vinci, Mayamo, Patches, Koja, Abija, Azara, I, Exposer, Marvo, Roots Garden, Reality, Ninja, and the newcomers, Diamond, and Kerry. So make sure for Thursday, May 30th, June 6th, and June 13th, you're getting ready to head to Russell's Auditorium for Untold Calypso 10. See you there.
Untold take over. We make the area.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station. Object tracking available.
It seems to be.
Go ahead. Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
What?
6. You big it to the top and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Welcome to Subway, where you can always have it your way. My name is Stacy. What can I make for you?
Hey, Stacy. I'll have a chicken teriyaki salad. All veggies, please. And for my daughter, Naomi, a pizza. Naomi, what would you like to have on your pizza?
Pepperoni bacon.
They've got tomatoes as well.
Pepperoni bacon.
What about some fresh onions, corn, pineapple?
Pepperoni bacon.
Naomi, you can also have olives, jalapeno, extra meat.
Nope, pepperoni bacon.
Stacy, can I have one chicken teriyaki salad, all veggies, please, and a pizza with pepperoni and bacon?
You can have it your way.
Come into our uptown or downtown location today, or order on your favorite delivery app. Subway, have it your way.
I passed by a brethren the other day. If you see he plays rat and cockroach racing, mosquito fighting one another for come knee in your ears, and the amount of woodlights I see, I had to wonder if them been in the wood with no attack and Billy Ark. I said, bye, Carl Flick.
For the eradication of pests, Flick is your answer. Before and after construction of your domestic and commercial buildings, Flick uses environmentally safe chemicals. And keep washrooms fresh with the Aroma Odor Control and the FemCare Sanitary Disposal Systems. Call Flick Pest Control today at 457-1857 or click www.flickpestcontrol.com.